Hey everybody, how you doing this evening? We got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. It's been a very busy week here, as it usually is, and got a lot of other things going on as we roll into Comic Art Live, which is just 9 short days away. So yeah, we got a lot of stuff to go over. Got some videos to show you, some stuff I forgot to include in the email. We've got a nice clip from the C2E2 this past weekend. I've got some video clips from some of the things that happened earlier in April that I haven't been able to get to until recently. So yeah, plenty of stuff to talk about. It's good to have everybody hanging out here as well. And I did see Peter posted a few nice pieces of art to the site this past week. Mikhail was congratulating him on posting that. That's always good. So hey, let's get this thing rolling. We've got Mr. Layton and Joey in the green room. We've got another quick video clip from them regarding the things that they were doing in Seoul this past week. Of course, I know that they had some special guests stop by related to webcomics, and I think that Bob did a short interview with them. And we're going to get to hear what they've been up to this past week and what they've got coming up, because we know they're going on we know that Bob has got that very, very fun show he's got next weekend as well. So let's see what they've been up to, and we'll talk to them.
Hey, Bill and Casper, here we are. Another drink and draw. We have a smaller turnout tonight. I'm not sure what that's about.
I think a lot of people might be holding out for a free comic book day.
Yeah, that's true. That's coming up this weekend. You can see right here, right?
Free comic book day and Star Wars Day.
And you're going to have a bunch of guests here, right?
Yeah, we have Minkyu Jung that did Dr. Aphra, which series is just finished.
There you go.
We've got Ryan Estrada that did Ben Book Club. And
yeah, there you go. So, so we have a smaller turnout, so it's going to probably be a shorter show, but that's why we have an interview coming up with some guys here. They are in the webtoon business and creating IP for television and motion pictures. So we'll do a little short interview with them later and show some drawings. Tonight's theme
is heroes that rely on weapons.
Right, like Captain America or Thor. Thor has a hammer, Captain America has a shield or whatever.
Hawkeye.
Wonder Woman, Hawkeye. Wonder Woman has her lasso or whatever. So there we go. So anyway, on with the show.
Action.
Hey, Bill and Casper. I'm here with Charlie and Isaac. And guys, tell us about the company you represent.
So I work at YLab, which is a leading webtoon company in Korea. Webtoons have been kind of blowing up here, and we're working on expanding to Japan and the United States and all other markets and getting them out there. But I particularly work in converting the webtoons into live action animation and video content, video versions of
like
it.
making movies and TV shows.
Dramas,
particularly.
Yeah.
That's really, really important because because comic IP here is a real gold mine.
Oh yeah,
for content for other media, right?
Yeah, one of our most famous shows was the IP of Netflix's Kingdom is actually the original web drama. Before it became a web drama, before it became a drama, the webtoon was actually a YLab IP.
That's why.
And the founder, the Y in YLab is Mr. Yoon, who wrote the original comic book, which became Netflix's first Korean original.
So you know how I'm always pushing about the webtoon thing because I really think it's the future. Even though I know comic art collectors are not as thrilled about webtoons because there's not any original art for them to buy, but we all love good entertainment, and so it's the fact that you guys are on the cutting edge of here, and hopefully we'll get a chance to work together.
Oh yeah,
looking forward to that. So, you got anything to say, Charlie?
I'm just a freelancer consultant for the media and entertainment sector. I've been also hosted at MTV and Nickelodeon Korea for 6-7 years.
Oh, wow.
YouTube originals and Disney Plus, and now I'm becoming a freelancer.
Yeah, so you know a lot about the boy bands and the girl bands and all that stuff.
So culture.
He's got an in with Blackpink, you guys. So I want to know all you guys over there that are hot for the Korean girl bands. Just so you know that Charlie's got an in. Okay, anyway, thank you so much for showing up tonight.
No pleasure.
Pretend you're making pasta, okay?
Yeah, okay.
Sorry, Peter. Yeah. So tonight's theme, like I said, we're working on. I love that one, man. You're doing a whole thematic thing, aren't you?
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm doing Punisher because he uses weapons. You got Han Solo going there, right? Wow, that's explosive. Wow. Okay, that's gorgeous. That's one of the best ones you've done so far. Wow.
Hey.
194 episodes, man.
I know, isn't that wild?
We were talking in the green room. Remember, it's been I've been on for a whole year.
You have ever since you embarked on your big around the world tour.
Yeah, it's crazy to think about, man.
It has, but we've had a good time this whole time, man. It's been good. And you're going to a con next weekend.
We're doing the Japan Comic Art Expo in Tokyo. I'm going to go see my friend Takio Wada, who's, he's been ill, as I'm going to go visit him. Originally, I just had to get out of the country, right? Because my visa's expiring, so I had to leave, right? So I said, hey, Tak, I'm going to come visit you for, whatever. And then somebody found out that I was going to be in Japan and invited me to the con. And next thing you know, then Joey and Cleo says, hey, you know what? We'd love to go to Japan with you. And it's like, I said, it's fine because I don't really plan on sitting at the table much. So I said, bring some of my merch so we have something to sign. And it just turned into the whole family affair. We're all going to Tokyo now next week.
Yeah,
I'll be here. I don't leave until Friday night. So I'll be here to do the show. Joey will be in transit, but I'll be here to do the show next week.
All right, no, that's cool. It'll just be you and me while Joey's traveling. Do you do any drawing at all when you're at the shows, or do you just sign?
I don't draw. No, we're basically selling Bob merch. I don't like doing. I told you I'm off the stripper pole. I don't like doing drawings at cons because one, it's not your best work, and two, I don't need the money, and three, I love talking to the fans. I love, especially when you go to another country and they're meeting you for the first time and they've read your stuff or whatever. And it's kind of like when you sit there drawing, people get quiet and they leave you alone. They're always so polite. And so I sit there in silent frustration, drawing something for a couple $100 or whatever. And it's like, it's to me, it takes the fun out of it. And the fun to me is meeting those people. And interacting with them and finding out what they think. And so, I don't like doing sketches at cons. I understand why people have to do that. Mm-hmm. Joey and I had this conversation the other day because I said, I don't think people realize it, but most comic book creators, their main job is Comic Cons. They do comics as a hobby, but they actually make more money doing Comic Cons.
Well, they're not going to make a living, at comics unless they're
really. That's what I'm saying. Their job is most cartoonists' job is being celebrities, at shows. That's what they do for a living, and they do comics basically to keep their name out there. Speaking of which,
make a living in comics if I didn't sell hamburgers.
Yeah, exactly. Joey's offsets it by ground beef. But hey, listen, I finished both of my covers for Nick. Okay. I can't show them obviously until they're solicited. But once they do, I can show you guys. But I'm happy with the way they both came out. Nick was happy with it too.
Been blasting Space Coast PR or Space Coast PR out there for days now. Apparently, he's really happy with it, and finished Johnny Quest too. Yeah. And so it's like they're going out for solicitation soon, so we'll be able to show them maybe next week or whatever. But and I had some other stuff I was working on that show us anyway, Cass. Yeah, right. Because what I want to do is piss Nicky off, right? He's been so good to me. Exactly. Let's piss him off on camera. So
you can just strike the Space Coast pose that's in the
It's in the cover. There you go.
Yes. No, I showed it last week.
Yeah, the Kirby hand in front.
I can't show, but I'm really happy because my one of the guys that I've been mentoring, Rich C2, who's been coloring my stuff, on social media. He's been coloring my commission stuff. He got his first professional work. Nicky gave him his first job coloring, so he's coloring both of these covers. So I'm very proud of Rich, and I'm happy for him. They gave it like a 36-hour deadline. And I just wrote back, "Welcome to the wonderful world of comics."
They don't pay you anymore to get it done faster, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, it's fine. But Joey's got a big weekend coming up. I'm not allowed to come to the shop because it's like I've been barred from coming.
Oh yeah, you're not allowed to get to the door anymore.
I'm just not going to give you a table because we've already got two other guys that might feel like they're stolen.
No, the Korean guys are very soft spoken, and you know me, I'm like a brick through a plate glass window. So if I'm there, it's like, wait a minute, what was it? Goo says, "Am I doing cover for Johnny Quest or just?" I'm doing cover because I asked Nick because Johnny Quest and Space Ghost were things created by Alex Toth for Hanna-Barbera, and I've always been a big Alex Toth fan. And the fact that I grew up with Space Ghost, and Johnny Quest, very fond in my heart. So to me, it was like, wow, anytime I can do a character, and I'm going to use the word IP, whoever it was back there earlier. Yeah, anytime there's an IP that I haven't really been involved in. I mean, like I said, I did Cheezosaurus Rex. I mean, who am I to split hairs, right?
Exactly.
So, but Joey's got a big weekend coming up.
Yeah.
I
just told me to tell Ryan Estrada hi because of the 24-hour MODOK comics he did with him.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
About it. He remembers it. He really enjoyed those.
Yeah. That's true.
Well,
freaking MODOK.
And Jung Minkyu's coming.
You've done a lot. You did a lot of MODOKs.
And some people asked for commissions from him that were watching last week, and one of them got a great deal on a page from him. I was like, wow, that's a good deal on a page. You should have told me. Tell me if you have more pages, because.
Yeah, so people at the show, reach out if you see this stuff. By all means, reach out because, like you said, these guys don't know what their artwork is worth.
I actually came into work really early today because yesterday someone brought me a stack of these Korean Marvel reprints, and I'm prepping them to.
They're really cool.
CC. Yeah, I've got Avengers 1. I've had two of these before, and they sold really well. And then I've got a Captain America 1 and a Hulk. And
so these things are finally, I mean, think about it. Stuff that's like, 50, 60 years old. The Korean audience is finally getting their hands on this stuff
for the first time.
Yeah. Give us another 10 years and they'll be buying artwork, man, from CAF, man.
Nothing wrong with that. We'll be around.
Yeah, and Heritage Auctions. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, there's getting a lot of people interested in it. So it's we kind of broke the market for it more or less, and now now people, it's starting to get some traction after a few years.
So what are you going to do this weekend then, Bob?
Oh, I got Charlie and Isaac. You saw there. Mm-hmm. We're working on stuff together. Some of the IP that I own might be translated into webcomics here. So Isaac and I are going to be going back and forth all weekend with the possibility of printing some of the stuff I own in Korean. And converting them to webtoons. So I'm going to be busy.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. So I mean that's why we were having that meeting there last night, because they were discussing all this stuff with me, because it is a great, as we were talking about, it is a great launch point for getting stuff into television and film. Mm-hmm. That's one of the huge places where they mine for content.
And so I'm talking to them about some comic stuff, because a lot of the webtoon companies are trying to kind of expand more into the American market too. So they've been doing things like having a presence at like New York and San Diego Comic-Con, but because they look at they've already cornered the Korean market. but we're looking
Sounds
at some other ways that we can make it
My son.
seem more integrated here too.
Did you say, "Hey, Sean, how you doing, brother?" I was like, always so proud. Good to hear from him. You know.
Yeah, nice to watch it.
No, it's like Sean and Bernard. Like I said, I got them in a match set in '93 at San Diego Comic Con. It was one of the best moves I ever made. So Joey, before we drink and draw drawings, because there's only a few of them, because we only had about 6 people yet.
It was a quality over quantity.
We also got invited to a film festival.
Yeah, Bob was invited as a special guest at the Bucheon Fantastic Film Festival.
Yeah,
that sounds fun.
When is
one
that?
of the biggest film festivals in Korea. So
yeah, it's like red carpet, serious, big Hollywood kind of production, man. So it's
I asked him if he wanted to go, and he's like, "Yeah, it sounds fun." And then I sent him a link to the thing, and then he said, "Okay, we have to go for sure."
Yeah, I gotta buy a suit though, man. I gotta be voguing, man. I gotta buy a suit, for this thing.
You didn't bring one?
No, I didn't bring a suit because I'm traveling around the world, man.
I like you're skinny for all your suits now.
Yeah. So I didn't bring a suit, but I figured it'd be cheaper just to get one made here. Koreans they're a lot over 6 foot Koreans now, so it shouldn't be that hard. But I told Cleo last night, I gotta go shopping. If I'm going to do this walk the red carpet with all these Korean movie stars and stuff, I gotta look good, man. So we got a couple of months to get me a suit. It's like
it's going to be a good WTF episode, I think.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's like it should be fun. No doubt. You know me. I will be irreverent if nothing else. But that's a big deal. I'm very honored.
Sure, of course.
Yeah. So
I've never walked the red carpet, man. You've been on it a lot the last.
Over the years. I mean, in most of the Marvel premieres that had any of my stuff. What's up, Dad? I love you, myself. Hey, are you doing that Morocco thing, Sean, with Darren? You doing that again? Because one of my other Valiant guys works at Marvel, and they did a con. I did a video thing with them in Morocco last year. So I would wonder if they're doing another one for what Sean's talking about. Join them in Morocco. I would love to go to Morocco. Yeah, then I could do it. Where in the world is Bob Layton? I could go to Morocco.
We'd actually have that as a legitimate question.
Legitimate, yeah. Sitting here in this friggin' chair next week. No, I'm going to be in Japan, Sean. It's like I have to leave the country because, like I said, my visa expires next week, so I have to get out of here for a few days. So, like I said, the whole thing kind of snowballed. Anyway, we don't want to take up all your time because I know you have a busy show.
But you did do some drawings, right? While you were.
That was my Punisher from last night. Yeah, it's like.
That's the weapon one.
Yeah, the weapons thing. Joey has some of the other ones. The artist with no name did great. Yeah, this was the only commission I can show you that I did last week. I did a Hercules for one of the fans in Japan who pre-ordered it for the con. So it's always fun doing Herc. It's like I have a very small, deeply disturbed audience with Hercules. So apparently it's global. So it was fun to.
Well, after Iron Man, I mean, I think of Hercules when I think of.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you gonna?
Yeah, it's not quite as well known as Iron Man, but it does have a very loyal following. The future Herc stuff. So that was nice. That was fun. But the other stuff, like I said, there's nothing else I can show you this week. So. But our artist with no name did an absolutely great Harley Quinn. You gotta show him that.
Yeah. I've got it right here.
Yeah.
Let's see.
The artist whose name you've not yet remembered. What do we got here? Oh,
look at that. Isn't that fantastic?
It is.
Again, and it's available through Joey and his website if anybody wants it.
DiceandComics.com.
Yeah, exactly.
John did some fun ones. John
said to do a weapon, so he goes all the way back to 2001, Space Odyssey. which I
And
love.
that's his other one he did. He did 2 yesterday.
It is.
This was the young man that started coming last week, and I think he's going to be a
And I'm
regular.
not sure what that is, other than it's exploding. I'm not sure what weapon it. I don't think he understood what the program was. But that's
There was
okay.
a weapon involved, at least.
There's the
You saw.
The last
It's
one
so
we
hard.
have
Yes, it really.
Solo.
Yeah, it's so hard to sit there and draw when I'm having meetings. I told Joey we can't have meetings on Thursday nights with people and do drink and draw too, because I'm just totally divided with my attentions. But yeah, we had a very small
the night they know you're going to be there. But I talked to him about last night. I was like, hey, let's just figure out a night when all of us could just go out and have some beers, and I can not be in the store because I get pulled away from every meeting every 5 minutes.
I live 10 blocks from the shop, man. I like be there in 10 minutes, But yeah, when you're trying to run the event too, you can't focus on the drawing or anything like that, or give pointers to anybody. That's neither here nor there. So yeah, that was it. So next week, it'll be just me. I'm going to run drink and draw without them. It's like I'm going to,
Do they give you the keys to the shop and you get to?
No. They have all their employees. I mean, Joey runs, and this is a credit to Joey. He has really great employees. He cannot go to work and not have to worry about whether things get done. His people are really well trained. They know their jobs. So, I mean, that's why he's leaving. He's leaving the shop open, right, for the entire time you're in Tokyo.
Yeah. We're gonna open later because normally I'm the one that comes in and opens the shop for lunch and earlier in the day, and then, but the evening staff is going to be here, so we'll open at 4 instead of 11.
And yes, that is Alita Battle Angel behind me. They run it on Ocean every other day. They run that same. I don't know why they run that movie every other day. I deliberately turned it on just because I can make some comment about it, because it just drives me nuts that it's on
That's crazy.
constantly.
I've seen it a few times. It's not bad.
No, it's a good movie. But I love Robert Rodriguez. I love his sister more. She's his editor. She's really good, cute too. But anyway, so Sean, I love you. Have a great time in Morocco. Bill, I'll talk to you next week. Joey, I will see you probably sometime this weekend. Come over for a beer after Free Comic.
Or pop in for Free Comic Book Day, and then
No, I'm not popping in. I'm not coming in.
Check out Big Use.
You already hurt my feelings. I'm not coming. No, because
Lock at the door.
like I said, Minkyu and those guys are so soft spoken. They're not real I would say exuberant kind of people. And yeah, I tend to dominate a room when I go into it, so it's better I'm not there. But anyway,
agreeing with you either.
Tell Jedi Master Sheehan I said, hello, and I'll see you this weekend. Like I said, just come by and I'll have my Tsingtao non-alcoholic beer. I still have a beer for you in the fridge too.
Oh yeah, I loaded
it. You can tell me all about it, Bill. And obviously, so have a great show. Thank Sean, you. I love you. It's like even though you have an authority problem, you're still one of my favorite people in the whole world. All right.
Boy. All right, guys. Well, Joey, safe travels. We'll see you the week after next, and have fun at the show. And
okay, we're going to have some great footage for you and an interview with Takiawada. And
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. So it'll be great.
We'll go around the show and talk to some people there too.
Yeah, exactly. I'll do a what the fuck right the hell.
Try to get Yoshi on camera. I've only seen him interviewed by one of the other competitive live streams out there.
Okay.
But never got the chance to talk to him myself, really. So I try to get him on camera. It's his show, right? I think he organizes it.
Yeah. No, I'm sure we'll be in touch with him at some point.
Cool.
All right. Have a great show.
I'll see you next week.
Joey, have a great week.
All right. So Joey will be on the road next week. Bob will be going solo. But that'll be fun because then we'll get to see the following week what they get to do over at Japan Comic Art Expo that Yoshi is running. Same weekend as Comic Art Live. So they've got an in-person show the same weekend that we're doing our virtual show. So yeah, but Yoshi has 4 artists that are participating in the mystery sketch too, even though I think they're all going to be set up at that show as well. So busy time. So I actually got some photographs from the Windy City Pulp and Paper Convention that's in Lombard, Illinois. I mean, they've been going on for almost 25 years. I think maybe it's like 23 or 24 right now. But as a show, I've seen a few photos before, and and everybody always tells me I should go to it because it's a big illustration art related show, but also just cool old pulp material. But I was emailing with Doug Ellis after the show, and I wasn't able to get any video footage that I could show because I didn't get the chance to reach out and ask some people for permission about it. But I did get some photos that Doug took. And overall, it looks like a pretty well-run, well-organized looking show. I mean, very open and spacious, and you can see a lot of art there, a lot of books too, of course, since it's mostly about the pulp era of comics and magazines. But they have a lot of art dealers that show up for the show. You got Jane Frank right there, so she's showing off some art. Her what is her website? WowArt.com, I think, is the name of her website. So she goes there every year. But yeah, you can see in the background plenty of cool art to look at. Not all of it, much of it painted. And I definitely need to make a trip there someday. But it is in Illinois, and it is early April, I think, every year. So just something everybody, if you're in the area, you should certainly put it on your list. I mean, it's a 3-day show. I think they actually have a Friday 11 a.m. opening time, so they get 3 full days out of this thing. I think they have a fair number of panels, and I think they did a Roger Hill tribute this past week, or not this past week, it's the past show. So it's pretty cool, and I think they always have a few art exhibits that go along with the show as well. A gentleman who there, Kazra's put the link in the chat. Thank you, Kazra. So yes, it's a good show, and and again, they do a lot of stuff. There's a gentleman who had a small exhibit there who actually reached out to Kazra and I about having a booth at OAX next year. So they had heard good things about it. Felt there might be some crossover and interest from the artwork that they were bringing to Windy City, and Rich Danny's corroborated my thing. Yeah, Roger Hill tribute panel. And a few others. I mean, I think that they're very much about educating the masses in terms of just keeping this genre of art alive and in people's minds. I think that Heritage was there, or at least a representative or two from Heritage were there. So yeah, I mean, all this stuff is right up my alley. I love looking at this stuff, and I wish I knew the booth names on some of these. Some of the art looks familiar, but yeah. So there you go, Windy City. It is, I think it was April 5th through the 7th. So look it up, and you've got the web address in there. Thanks to Kazra. Thank you, Kazra. So Kelly Goon says they picked up 2 pieces while they were there. That's awesome, Kelly. Did you post them to CAF? I may have missed whatever you picked up there. Were they paintings, or were they sketches, or fill us in? So Rick Welch has amazing stuff. Of course, absolutely. So what else I got? I actually got an email from Dan Brereton, who is also participating in the mystery sketch coming up. Deadline for mystery sketch purchases, of course, we always say next Friday evening, but we'll probably take them into Saturday just a little bit, because a lot of people see that Friday evening show and want to buy them. But Dan's got a Kickstarter going on right now. And oddly enough, I didn't even know about it till a couple of days ago. I saw it posted on Facebook, and he sent me over an email a couple hours before the show and asked me if he could hop on, which I was like, I don't have time to have another guest for this evening. But I told him that I would let everybody know that Dan does have a Kickstarter going, and I should grab the web address, because I had it up here before and now I don't. So here it is. All right. So Dan's got this thing, and the thing is, he's actually doesn't have the art rewards. Maybe aren't as heavy as like on tiers that we would be used to in a Kickstarter, but he's giving away some random art in some of the portfolios that he's got. I forget, several of the tiers come with this portfolio option. And what he's going to do is randomly put in some original art in them. So at least one of these two artworks are going to be available. And again, I'm sure everybody out in the audience appreciates Dan's work like I do. I love his stuff. And so, I don't know how many Kickstarters and art books he's done in the past, but this one's doing pretty well, though. It is at $66,000 and he's got 476 backers, but you can always use more. And he's got 7 days left in the Kickstarter here. And I can pull it up here on the screen for everybody to see as well. So it's called, what is it? Phantom Fatale. And it's got 7 days to go and lots of different options. But again, the art options aren't heavy, more portfolio or, like portfolio prints and different sketch versions. There is a this one where it comes with a 6x8 sketch for $199 along with some of the with the portfolio and the hardcover. There's only 6 of those left. I know there was a color option or a few color option pieces that had already sold, and I think there was another color option that sold out too. Yeah, none left on the watercolor piece option. Yeah, this one over here was another. There was 12 options for this other larger watercolor piece, $785. So the prices on these when they originally were set up were pretty fair. I mean, you know what Dan's stuff goes for since we've done a few shows with him. But yeah, so there is one art tier that is still available with that smaller piece. And but again, you have the option of potentially getting original art in the portfolio if you pick up that option. So there you have it. Links in the chat. I'll make sure I get it linked into the description after the show. And I always enjoy supporting Dan whenever, however we can. So check it out. Now, I actually, let's see. Okay, how many, what do we got here? Some questions. There was some questions earlier. I remember Alberto asked about the Linsner. Linsner told me he was going to ship it today, which probably means he's shipping it Friday or Saturday because he always ships it a day or two after he tells me he's going to do that. On Wednesday, I sent him the list of artwork that we needed to get from him. We always sell a lot of Joe's art after the show. We ended up selling 16 of the 31 pieces, I think. And I think when we ended the show, we only had about 9 sales. Most of the stuff that sold after the show were covers. So, yeah, my guess is I'll have the art by Tuesday or Wednesday of next week, if Joe stays to form. And then I saw the question about Hitch. Hitch, I think, has not shipped the commissions yet. He actually ended up finishing 2 or 3 more. He emailed me yesterday and said that he was going to be putting it in the mail. So I should be getting those soon, Ron. I know we got to see yours a month ago. So I apologize that I haven't gotten it in the mail yet. He did a kick-ass Manhunter that was one of the $1,600 level pieces, and he finished that one like a week and a half ago. So I don't know. I guess he had in his mind that he was going to finish this other large one and put it in there. So that might have delayed him a little bit. But anyway, I should have those soon, and I will certainly let you know, Ron, when I have it in hand before I put it in the mail. So and same for you, Alberto, and your package deal that you did make with Joe after the show. So I'm a bad rep, says Jason. I'm not a rep. That's the problem. I guess maybe if I was everybody's rep, then I could like strong arm people. But Bill, are the mystery sketches done yet? I saw that question. I saw Alberto ask how many have been sold. It is a record. We are at record level in number of sales. We're at record number in the number of artists participating in the mystery sketches. Like I was letting everybody know last week, or even when we started them, I wanted to make sure that I got lists out early, especially because of for Jiggy's artists that are always have to ship the art back to the U.S. and for Yoshi's from Japan Comic Art. Basically, what I did was I pulled the list on Monday. I think it was Monday or maybe Tuesday morning. Either way, I pulled the list, randomized it, and broke it out into groups and sent those out to everybody. I think that at that point there were 170 some odd ones. We're closing in on 200 sales. We'll easily surpass that figure, which is again a really our best ever outing in terms of mystery sketch sales. So I'm excited about it. We're gonna have a lot more artwork to look at when we do the unboxings, and yeah, that's gonna be pretty awesome. We got new artists too. I even apparently I'd left a few artists off the list from Jiggy's crew. Franny, who I think a few people wanted to, were hoping would end up being on that list. Franny's on the list now as well. I have somebody who is joining Tatiana's group, and I'm assuming it's a name of note, although I don't know who it is yet. They wanted to participate in the mystery sketch. So actually on the sign up page, it says secret artist underneath TDR, because I don't even know who it is. She said that she didn't want to finalize the name until she actually had, whatever, either art in hand and the agreement in place, whatever, as a rep. But they are going to be, whoever this person is going to be doing some mystery sketches too. So yeah, that's going to be fun. And Corey says, will I show off all the sketches or just send them to the buyers? Well, we always do a unboxing when we can, with the next Comic Art stuff and Yoshi's Japan Comic Art Expo pieces. We always do it when possible. I try to get Tatiana on the stream, and she'll open up stuff and show things off. Mark will do the same. I don't know if I've done that with Ken before, but again, we try to do unboxings when we can, and if for whatever reason maybe they're running a little late, we don't, but we might film it or something like that. But Dan Brereton is going to be sending his stuff to me. Ben Temple-Smith sends his stuff to me, and then I mail it out. So we always try to unbox things versus before we send them out. It's a little more fun, right? Because we all get to see it, and people get to think maybe that piece is theirs or not. Jason says, when did we start letting inkers in? Well, inkers are artists too, Jason. Anthony had Leistein and Riley also pop in and join. So yeah, how about writers, Jason? Yeah, that's what Caswell wants to know. If Stan Lee were around, we can get him to draw stick figure Spider-Man. Although Spider-Man's not a very popular character in the mystery sketches, from what I recall. I wasn't planning on talking about mystery sketches right now. But yes, please, everybody, I'm sure I'm going to hit the PR channels at least 3 times before we end up getting to the final day. I can tell you, we are doing something a little different this time, and we're actually doing a few things different this time. I won't give it all away, but I can tell you that we've actually got a few art giveaways that are going to happen with mystery sketches, and we've got some extra pieces that we have that we're going to randomly select next Friday night when we do the mystery sketch kind of Comic Art Live kickoff. So everybody who picked up a mystery sketch will have the option of getting an extra piece of art. I give it all away. West. So at least 3 people. That's what we're thinking about. We got three pieces we're going to give away that are very, very nice. And from very well respected artists. And we're going to add them in. And sorry, I can't read Casper's comments right now. But yes, so we'll be giving away 3 pieces of art randomly to people who've purchased mystery sketches. And if somebody purchased 5 and they end up winning one of these, they can only win it once. So it won't. So somebody who maybe buys 5 or 6 or 10 can't win 2 of these. We'll make it so that they will go to 3 unique people. And I don't know. Kazra and I didn't game plan this, so I'd rather hold off. But until Monday, unless Kazra gives me a thumbs up in the chat about the other wrinkle that we're adding into the mystery sketch here at the last minute, in the last week, in the last 9 days of sales, we've decided to make things a little bit more interesting and fun for everybody who's picked them up. But I should actually throw the boo thumbs up. I didn't say 15. I said 5 or 10. So all right, boo thumbs up. All right, so the thumbs up is we're actually doing a potluck option, and what that means is we have an artist that has agreed to do a more valuable piece for this, and on Friday we will randomly pull somebody to receive that. And if it's something that somebody's already started because we've dished them out, well, you know what, then I'll end up, Comic Art Live, Comic Art fans, we will end up getting the first piece, And the more expensive, more polished piece that we know that you're going to love and would want that upgrade is going to go to the person who wins that. So it's a potluck option. I'm not going to name the artist yet. I should be able to name the artist on Monday. And it's going to be, somebody that everybody would love to get a piece from. And it's, again, it's going to be an upgrade. It'll be like getting a $500-$600 piece versus a $200 piece. So basically that's 4 options to get something a little bit more unique than just your regular mystery sketch. So the more mystery to the mystery, I guess, is really what this all boils down to. But again, for those of you who don't know how to pick up a mystery sketch, there's a link in the right-hand column on CAF. And I'll throw the link in the chat. So anybody else who may want to learn more about mystery sketches, and I'm pretty sure that list is up to date now in terms of the artists that are participating. I added in, like I said, I added in Franny from Next Comic Art, Ralph Gumbach, and it was Dexter Soy, and I'm forgetting the 4th right now. I'm sure that if Jiggy were here, he would remind me. But yes, so there were 4 new artists added just today for mystery sketch. So yeah, all good stuff. Foil insert sketch. No, that's not going to happen with this mystery sketch. But I mean, expect, again, we wanted to make this fun. I mean, we've been doing mystery sketches now for 4 shows, and we just felt like it's time to start making things a little bit more interesting. And I would expect to see more changes in the November show as well. And with that one, I can pretty much guarantee there will be a couple different price tier options and probably some more interesting things potentially being given away. I don't know who said Art Adams, because I didn't say Art Adams. Kazra says he heard it was Massafera. I've never talked to Felipe either, so I can't say that. If it was Sidar, we know Sidar doesn't. He's not that creative. He's not sought after. I'm using the word sought after in terms of that art. It's not Jack Kirby, Alberto. But either way, it was it Kim Jacinto? I don't know. I don't think that was right. I feel there is another person, but I guess if I looked at the list, maybe it was Von Randall I didn't have on the list before. I'm not sure. At either rate, I did put 4 new names on there for Jiggy today. Yes, I don't recall, but I think we're kind of set though with the with all of the artists right now. I know it still says we're going to announce more, but I think we're at our limit. So at any rate, please consider picking it up. We already set a record. I haven't even bought my 5 yet. We always buy 5, Maureen and I, and we're going to Dan T. You're going to get a $500 potluck sketch from Dan T. Exactly, and we know he draws. I mean, he can draw a caricature like no one else. So yes, so there's that. Anyway, see, I had mystery sketches way down on the bottom of my list, so you guys have thrown me for a bit. But since we're talking about mystery sketches, we should probably just talk about Comic Art Live as well. I did go take a look today, just before the show, to see how much art has been posted so far, and it's like usual, everybody's slow rolling it into Comic Art Live. I think we have around 1,200 pieces posted to Comic Art Live right now, about 900 dropping on Saturday, 300 dropping on Sunday. So the main thing there is, don't wait. If you're going to be making setting up a booth, get in there, start it today. Don't wait until the last freaking minute, because if you do, you're going to be disappointed. You're not going to be able to get all of your your stuff posted. You only get to post 24 pieces on Saturday and another 24 that will drop on Sunday. And we don't like it when people don't get to post all their artwork, because that makes us sad. We don't like that. We need as much art out there as possible. And the thing is, if history holds true, we're still going to end up at 6,000 pieces of art available for sale by the time the Sunday art drop happens. So don't wait. That just means that everybody's just sitting there on Friday and Thursday and even Saturday morning before the Saturday drop gets locked at 10 a.m. You're just pounding calf trying to get all your artwork posted. So so start this weekend. I have had a lot of people start first-time booths, and that's always a good thing. I like having new exhibitors. I know a few artists that are going to be taking part in Comic Art Live for the first time, which is really nice. I'm just reading through there. Slow roll. Thank you, Mikhail. So anyways, how do you get it? Whoops, I haven't even started a sketchbook yet. That used to be James Siegel's job. And before that, Colin did it. So now I've been stuck having to do it. All right, I'll get a new sketchbook set up there. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. Look, 8 days and 9 hours left to set up your booth, everybody. So you come over here, you just click this booth link, and boom, you'll be in there. You're setting up your booth. And I still haven't cleaned out my booth from the last time. So I've got to get rid of some stuff. I got to get my own booth set up. I'm going to probably put some hitch art in there or something. I don't know what I'll have, but I'll have something. But this is where you do everything. And I can tell you the major thing that we've upgraded this time around is the email system. And we're effectively integrating all of your exhibitor email as well as your sent items into CAF mail. So those of you who have a booth, when you're going over to email, you're basically going to be looking at the email system kind of like you're used to, but you'll be able to reply and everything else. And also the emails that you get, that you receive or send from Comic Art Live will go into your CAF mailbox as well. So for those of you who are sending emails, you'll see it in your sent items. Exhibitors, it'll be right in there in the inbox direct. So I think we're pretty close to being wrapped up with that. Maureen will probably be done on Tuesday with all of the updates needed for that. But that was always a complaint. The email system was really never great for exhibitors. It was really, once the email was sent, you couldn't reply to that person within the system. You had to rely on outside emails and everything. And so we decided to integrate all of that. Kyle's asking me, what about the CAF app? CAF app's still rolling right along, Mikhail. Definitely for the November show, the Comic Art Live will be a part of the app for certain. I mean, I'm saying that, and I might be hating myself for saying that, but no, of course, it's definitely, the plan is to have it part of the CAF app for Comic Art Live 10 in November. Let's see. Black Viper says it'd be nice to be able to put things in my booth and leave them not active. Then if I die, my wife can come and make my whole collection active in the future. Well, I mean, everything that goes into your booth or your CAF, I mean, everything you put in your booth, after the show, you can move over to your CAF gallery. Yeah. Kezra's PRing the app. Yeah, I wish I could show you. One of these days, if I had like a second camera, I'd hang it up here and then I'd drop the phone down and we could look at it together. But we have a new release that we're going to get to demo tomorrow. We've got there's still a fair amount of things to do, but again, it looks very, very nice. And there's some stuff that I haven't even told Kazra that I'm going to make sure we get integrated into the version 1 of the app. But it's definitely it's a lot of work. It's taken a lot of time because there's it's like reinventing CAF in a lot of different ways, even though we're using the same back-end programming that Maureen's got as a base. Black Viper says, I would load my whole collection now, but only put a few pieces for sale this time. I see what you're saying. So she had the option to post them later. Yeah, I get it. Well, hopefully nothing will happen to you. So then we won't have to worry about that. But that's, because we require you to post stuff new to your exhibitor booth, it would never really work that way. And everything has an art drop schedule, to kind of time everything with the release and the opening of the hall and stuff. And we haven't gotten that facial eye recognition or anything like that. No thumbprints, scans of facial scans, none of that stuff yet on the app. But maybe in the future, Marcus. You never know. At any rate, so again, don't delay. Get your booth set up so that we have lots of new art for sale. And remember, the mantra of Comic Art Live is, to bring new artwork that you got for sale. I mean, I know that sometimes you don't sell stuff one show, you got to bring it back to the next one. Okay, that's cool. Change the price if you want to move it. Price it appropriately so it has the opportunity. If you're putting it in show after show and you're just raising the price or something because you think the market keeps going up, that's probably a recipe for failure. And we don't want anybody to fail. We want everybody to sell the artwork they bring, and we want people to walk away with lots of new artwork when the show is over. Peter says he has a hard time letting pieces go. Well, that's what we all do. It's a difficult thing to sell artwork, and that's why there are some collectors that never sell anything, and that's okay. The show is built for them as buyers. So there you have that. And I actually had a couple people, first-time buyers, first-time premium members today. Probably have been members over 15 years each, and they bought just so they could get in early. Remember that if you're a premium member, you get in 2 hours early on Saturday. You get in at 11 a.m. versus 1 p.m., which is the standard public opening of Comic Art Live next May 11th. So just keep that in mind. Premium members, 2 hours early access. But you guys already know that because you're always hitting refresh, waiting for that for the doors to open. I'll see what Snork say. He's posting one this Cal. I really hate to sell. Oh, well, Chris is going to have one piece of art that he really doesn't want to sell in his booth. So we'll have to check out Snork's booth. And remember, I think probably, and I'll send out an email when I do, I think around Tuesday, I will activate the preview of who has a booth. And once we do that, you can set booths to be like your favorite booths and that sort of thing to make it easier to kind of bookmark them and go back to them once the halls are open. See, Jason's always trying to get the inside scoop, man. Snork, you are selling? Question mark. All right. So they can sign up the day. They can sign up an hour the day before. Yes, they can. They always can. But I highly recommend they don't. But hey, that is what it is. But again, it's cool to get. It's cool to see what makes people want to go premium sometimes. And if it's the opportunity to buy artwork to get in an hour early, because they both did. I asked them, I'm like, hey man, I've loved your collection for years. What was it? Well, and they were like, specifically wanted to get in early. So, hey, it's cool. It's whatever kind of tips the scale to make people want to support CAF. We appreciate it. Snork is not selling a thing. He is not. That is a confirmed guess there, Goo. All right, so there you go. That's where we're at with Mystery Sketches and Comic Art Live. You can expect it, like I said, a lot of PR emails going out. If you already have a booth, I start sending out exhibitor-specific emails tomorrow, just on some reminders and things, and making myself available if you have any questions about anything that you feel you don't understand about the booth setup. I'm happy to try to help as best I can. I've left my schedule rather open for the next 9 days in order to make sure that I can take care of anything related to Comic Art Live and whatnot. But yeah, we'll be posting. I think, I'll just show the schedule right now. Might as well just kind of be totally off the rails and not follow my notes here. So coming up next, we've got on Tuesday, I've got James Dornoff on for an interview. He's collector, been on CAF, I think about 5 or 6 years. So he's got a lot of X-Men art in his collection. So I think that'll be a fun one for some of us. Anthony will be on next Wednesday for $1,000 and under show. Then, of course, the following weekend on the 11th and 12th, we have the Comic Art Live. And so I have some, these aren't 100%. Well, I'm pretty sure Declan is going to start the Saturday panels off at 2 p.m. I haven't got a 100% confirmation from him yet, but I do expect to have that by Monday. So I penciled it in right now. I figure, Declan's probably going to be there. We've got Joel Jones at 5 p.m. on Saturday, so I do expect to have a 3 and a 4. We just had p.m. starts, so I just haven't finalized anything yet. Jiggy and the next Comic Art crew will join me at 9 p.m. on Saturday evening, like they always do. And that's always a fun hangout. I asked him if there was a theme this time around. He said, nope, no theme on the art. So it'll be a mixed bag of things. I've got, then we've got some usual regular ones on Sunday to start the day off. Anthony at noon. We'll be at his warehouse having fun, music playing. It's always a good time. Cupcakes will be eaten, all that fun stuff. Paulo Rivera back 1 p.m. on Sunday. I know that Paulo will have a few pieces to auction off like he always does. And probably one big piece as well to auction off. So I have no idea what those will be, but I can't wait to see them. Then Mark Wade will be joining me at 2 o'clock. We're going to be talking about that Comic Book U program that he and Howard Chaykin have put together and have shown at a few shows around the country of late. So we finally, I've actually never talked to Mark before. So I don't think Howard's going to be joining him for that, but yeah, it'll be fun. Talk to Mark. Then Dan Parsons. We all know Dan, and we've been supporting his daughter and with the fundraisers that we've been doing. So Dan is going to join us. We'll talk to him about his art, what he's working on, and probably get caught up on a few things that have been going on in his life of late. Then I've got, and I'm sure I'm going to have again. I'll have at least 2 or 3 more panels on Sunday, and most of these will have art for sale. Joelle Jones, by the way. I've got 6 pieces of art that will be up for claims during that 1 hour panel. We haven't priced them yet. I could show them if you're interested, because I have to actually do my research, because I have no idea how to price her work, because there's not a lot of market data out there on her stuff. But this is a Star Wars Poe Dameron cover that will be available. There'll also be this Star Wars Han and Chewbacca cover. Don't know what it's from. I'm sure I'll get more information soon. What do we got? Female Furies cover. I'm not familiar with that one, but that looks pretty rough. Looks like Big Barda there, right? And what is this one? Danger Street #4. Not familiar with that, but it looks kind of pulpy to me. I like it. And then we have a Catwoman cover. That's pretty awesome. And what else we got? What was the last thing? Oh, a Batman cover with Wonder Woman on it. So yeah, I've got my work cut out for me with Joelle. I'm gonna have to figure out the pricing on all of those. It's probably gonna be tricky because I've not worked with her before. Jason, I did ask Mikhail, believe it or not. And how did you know that? But all good pieces, and Joelle and I will figure things out, and that'll be part of the interview on Saturday at 5 p.m. So tune in for that one. What else I got? The Mannix art. That was that the unboxing that I did last week. Those 16 or 17 sketch cards. We are going to do a show with we being Jiggy, Mannix, and I, and we're going to auction off all of these 16 cards, and we'll just we'll figure out what the starting bid will be on them. It'll be the same for everything, and we just felt like auctioning them off one at a time. We'll produce the best results for Zyla, Dan Parsons' daughter. So we're going to do that on Saturday night, the 18th at 9 p.m. So it'll probably be like an hour and 20 minutes show. Won't be too long. But if you really want to get Mannix, you need to tune in on on Saturday the 18th. So it'll be fun. We'll get to hang out with Mannix and Jiggy and sell some art and help Zyla out too. And remember, there were those several Batman pieces, Wolverine pieces, again, all sketch card size, all beautiful. And we can thank Lance, especially for organizing that, and Jeff Wedding as well. So again, that's going to be a good one. Tune in for that. Then yeah, Dr. Balls will be joining me on the 21st, Jason Bean, and then a few other sales shows. We did get confirmation that Dave Kopecky and Ben Brezel will be our ADD guests on May the 29th. I emailed them before the show, but Kaz let me know we got confirmation of that. So the last Wednesday in May, we're going to have an amateur dueling dealer match between Kopecky and Ben Brezel. It's going to be fun, of course. And then the following week, another amateur match, this time between Matt DiTullio and Carl Choi. And that's on the first Wednesday in June 5th. So back-to-back amateur matches is the thing. Berkey back. Yes, Berkey is actually back. We're going to do a kind of a small art drop and offers with him on the 15th. So he is going to be available for that show. He promises me. And I should note, even though it's not on here, on the 22nd, that will be the 150th episode of the Dueling Dealers. So we had a special set of memes that we had worked up for that show, and I was sick, so we didn't get to do it. So the 22nd, not shown on here, will actually be the official 150th episode of the Dueling Dealers, and that fun set of memes that we came up with for you. Then what else we got? We got Bart Sears' interview and sale on the 8th, and Kazler and I are going to be at Heroes Con the following weekend. That's on the 14th to the 16th. I did find out no kickoff party this year, everybody. Don't know why, but it just wasn't in the cards. And that did kind of start out as a calf event, but Heroes took it over. Even in the first year that we did it. So then they ran it last year, and I guess they're not doing it this year. I know that George Hodge's band is taking the year off, so that might have had something to do with it. But either way, there will be no kickoff party at Heroes this year. So I'm actually not coming in until Friday morning of Heroes weekend. Get us drunk at the bar, Bill. I'm sure there's going to be plenty of time for drinking at Heroes, as there always is. Party at the Weston Bar. That is very true. Larry needs to get married again. Well, he'd have to get divorced once, and that's probably not going to happen. But it's a nice thought. Yeah. And then Fred Hembeck will be back. He's scheduled to be on again on the 22nd of June. That's Saturday. So there you have it. Busy, very busy schedule. And then you see the OAX schedule. Don't forget about that. That's 24th through 26th of January 2025. We do have we opened up ticket sales on that. All right, I guess I can get rid of Joel's wonderful artwork there. Ticket sales were opened up. What was it? A week and a half ago or 2 weeks ago, whatever it is. We as well as hotel booking. And I can tell you, we actually have oversold the allotment that we were given already on the hotel rooms. So I think by tomorrow morning, that issue will be 100% resolved. And anybody who's trying to book a little bit of a longer stay, where you're trying to get in on like a Wednesday or Thursday and maybe stay later to a Monday or Tuesday or something like that, that'll all be resolved. So don't worry. We amended our agreement late in the day today, and they just have to go in and rejigger the hotel booking system, and everybody will be able to get back in there and do that. But it's all wonderful for us because again, it gives us a wealth of confidence going into this, knowing that ticket sales have been really fantastic, and of course that we're having to increase our rooms. We already started at a higher room count than we had last year, and we were already having to add rooms to it. So all good signs that OAX, see, Kezra says 80% of the sold on rooms already. Yeah, it was really not what we expected, but the rooms are the hard part. Tickets are still going to be available, but the hotel, when it fills up, there are other hotels nearby, but being in the main hotel is best. And the way it looks right now is I can guarantee you that we will be at least on Friday and Saturday night, and probably Sunday night as well, occupying far more than half of the hotel with art collectors. And the closer we can get to filling the whole hotel with art collectors, the better. They have like 700 rooms there. So yes, it's going to be good. Is VIP sold out? It is not sold out yet, Jason. As a matter of fact, it's but it's way over where it was 2 weeks into the sales. I can tell you that. So which is great. I mean, it gives us a lot of freedom to start talking with some of the guests that we're thinking about having. Kezra and I have had meetings together and independently a lot in the last 2 weeks, and we're working on trying to bring in some guests that aren't in Florida, so a lot of travel stuff there, but we definitely are working it right now as far as trying to get some stuff lined up, but all of it very interesting. I'm excited. It's fun planning out the guest list, and it's kind of humbling to get as many requests as we get. A lot of people are inquiring about exhibiting at the show, but we really only at the moment still only have we want to keep it around that 60 count, right? So keeping it there, Kezra and I have a list of 300 artists that we would love to have at the show. It just makes it really hard, especially when you're getting new requests and things in for everybody. But either way, I wouldn't delay on all of that. If we sold quite a few couples tickets for VIP weekend or weekend only. So I think we'll have, the same kind of turnout or better, I would assume, on that side of things. It's fun. We were talking with one of the potential exhibitors the other day, and they really like the idea that we encourage people to bring their significant other with them. It made it so that they didn't get into trouble when they were making big purchases if you had them buy you. For some of you, it's probably better not to bring them, but we leave that up to you. So what else? But yeah, hopefully, we are very focused on Comic Art Live right now to get that done. But I think Kazra and I would definitely tell you all that we expect to be making some new guest announcements by the end of May. So yeah, just look forward to that. It's going to be a blast. It really is. And the hotels got some cool stuff in the works too. Some new things that they're constructing that I think we're going to make our second year be very enjoyable, and also just kind of gives us the confidence that we could probably stick with them for 3 years at the very least, because they're doing more, expanding their space and all that. So Maki Pupu says he's booked his hotel room for Friday and Saturday. So that's good. Those are the big ones that you want to get into. How cool would that be? My parents can see me at OAX. Yeah, I like that idea. The T-shirts could be made from all of that. Yes, man, I know. Well, that's so. At any rate, very lots of stuff in the works right now, and we're not sitting on our hands. I can tell you that. Kazra has had more Zoom calls than any man should have in a regular week, with lining up guests and just talking with other people who, potential exhibitors. We're getting a lot of inquiries from exhibitors now. Everybody wants to know about that. I can let you know that if you were an exhibitor in year one, we'll be approaching you first with the exhibitor contracts. We kind of went through some revisions on those, Kazra and I, the last few days, and so we're kind of getting close to that. But all that's really going to happen after Comic Art Live is over. So beginning the week of the 13th is when we're going to start going out, talking with exhibitors. We're going to make the option for the collector island tables as well. Those will start getting put out there. We're getting some new people inquiring about those. So for those of you who are collectors who want to have a table at the OAX 2025, it is an option, and really we hope people commit to those kinds of things soon when we do start that, because there's a lot of planning that goes into the room layout, and knowing if we only need 6 like we had last year, or maybe we might need room for 8 or 10, would definitely change our floor plans and things. So hopefully, if you're thinking about that, committing earlier would be better, because at some point, we're going to lock in the room layout, and once we do that, we can't sell any more spaces. So yeah. And what was is the pizza contract worked out? Oh, Larry, yes. Well, the main thing being is that the right chefs will be working the weekend of our show, is what we can tell you, because that turned out to be a little bit of the snafu on there on the pizza. But we expect much better pizza in year 2. And you know what? We haven't said it formally, but I don't care. I'll say it. That the head chef promised me the pizza would be good next time, Larry. He did. The head chef, and just it wasn't just the head chef, it was the second chef in charge had the weekend off as well. So we were working without their top 2 chefs the OAX weekend. So that might tell us why the pizzas weren't up to snuff. And we pretty much said they need to be on, or it would have been our last year at that hotel for year 2. So that's how that happened. But we are, while we haven't written it down and specifically said this was going to happen, we can guarantee you that the first 2 hours of the art auction will have an open bar. So we started the pizza and stuff right after the show ends on Saturday. So beginning at 5 or probably 5 or 5:30. I don't know. Kazra can correct me. Once we start serving pizza, there will be an open bar. It won't be a cash bar like that. Probably the last hour will be a cash bar, but at that point, hopefully you've had enough drinks in the first 2 hours and bought all the artwork that you need. That it'll just make it a more fun, relaxing event. We want you spending money on art, not on your liquor and beers. And those beers were expensive, right? They were like $14, $16 a bottle. So we decided it's easier for us to do an open bar for everybody than it is to have you buy individual drinks in the first 2 hours. Just remember that, first 2 hours. So yes, see, I knew everybody liked that. That's some good news. That's an add-on. And again, we did not raise ticket prices in our second year. Everybody kept those the same. So attendee tickets, 100%. We're not raising the price on the VIPs or the weekends or anything in year 2. We feel confident that we can make it work and feel like we can give everybody an even better experience in year 2. So there you go. So I've probably been talking too much about OAX now, but there you have it. That was all good news. Free booze makes the pizza delicious. That might be working in our favor. That is true, Kazra. But yeah. Anyway, so that's all. And I can definitely tell you that I've already got my own plans to make the auction a lot better. You know, we're really going to be on the artists to get the artwork in before the show, and part of what I intend to do, one way or another, is have a QR code available. Well, for one, I can tell you, we're going to have a booth where we're going to actually have the artwork available for you to look at. It won't be in one of the galleries. It will be on the floor. So you have the option to look at the artwork all you want on the show floor on Saturday. But also, you know, the lot number should be on them as well. And I'm going to have QR codes on all the tables, and probably as part of like some of the stuff you get in your swag bags, you can scan that and basically download a PDF to your phone. So you'll be able to like look at the lots as we've lined them up. Now, you know, there could be some stragglers and they won't be in the PDF, but we're going to do our best to make sure that you've basically got your own guide to the auction while you're sitting there. You don't have to squint and look at a hazy, projected image or one where somebody's walking around. We're going to have it so anybody can scan it and pull it up on their phone and have that as part of the auction. So scared to just print it on auction catalog. Well, the PDF will do just fine, I think, but that's the plan. That is definitely the idea. Snorri, that was a moment. That definitely was a moment. Anyway, so moving right along. What do I got next? Okay, Ontario meetup. That was another thing. Rich Danny's had gone to a comic collector meetup in Ontario. I think it was 2 weekends ago. I got the materials last week and I just ran out of time to pull it all together. But this wasn't a Jeff Singh event. I don't think even that. Let's see, who else wasn't there? I think. Number one Gru Collector, of course, was there, but yeah. Ruben wasn't there. That's right. I'm sorry. How could I forget Ruben's name? Ruben wasn't there. Jeff Singh wasn't there. But there are some collectors whose faces will look a bit familiar. Yeah, Rich is saying Neil and Lee Meckham. Is it Meckham or Metcham? I never knew that. I've never met them, but they were the ones who put it on. Oakville, Ontario. Duke Fleed, yes, number one Gru Collector. Duke is in this. So I rather than just show them as slides, I threw it together in just a quick little video for everybody. I think it presents a little bit better. It's a couple minutes, and I hope you enjoy it.
Freelance.
Yes. So that I just come here for time. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't use that sleepy time music anymore. Basically, the last time Casper was over, he deleted it from my hard drive. So we no longer have that. I forget what it was called. It was literally called something like Inspirational Gallery or something like that. That's how I ended up finding it. But yeah, there was a lot of great artwork on display, huh? That I actually that Bruce Timm Wonder Woman was freaking fantastic. But there was some really nice EC art in there. Bolland Wonder Woman, yeah, Bolland piece was in there. Sorry. Was it Darwin? I didn't look close enough, but it was You're right. It could have been Darwin. I thought it was Bruce, but if it was Darwin, that probably would make more sense. The style was more Darwin's. I don't know. There you go. See, Rich is saying it was Dar. Yes. All right. My mistake. It was called The Sound of Ears. No, Sound of Ears after, yeah. Chamomile Sounds of Sweetness. All right. It's gone. It's deleted from my hard drive, everybody. It's never going to come back. I promise. From now on, I'm going to let Casper pick the music that we use. They are close. No, they are close. But there was something about that one that looked different. It was those bullets, the way the bullets were drawn. I was looking at the bullets, actually, not what Marcus was thinking. Anyway, so thank you for Rich for that. Everybody knows that whenever you're doing an art get together and gathering, and it's okay with everybody, shoot some video and take some pictures and send them along, because it's always good to remind everybody that we like getting together as a community. And I think that's something that we're going to always, through CAF and CA Live, we want to encourage people to do more of these kind of get-togethers. And I saw that Rich said he thought it was Meacham, so I was wrong on all accounts. So Meacham makes more sense, doesn't it? Guys. So what else we got? I don't have a page I love for you today, but I do have a video clip from C2E2 last weekend. It's a little long, but I think you're going to enjoy it. Tom McDonald was kind of the guy behind all this. He told us he was going to be shooting stuff. We've got Josh and Sherry. They're doing some interviews as part of this thing. You get to see a lot of sights and sounds from C2E2. I think even Anthony makes an appearance or two throughout this. But Tom put a lot of effort into this one, and he's put this together. And I'll get it on the channel probably this weekend. But it's smoke break time, says Jason. So at any rate, I will play the video for you now, and you get to see all the fun that Tom and Josh and Sherry and Anthony and several artists that they spoke to throughout this thing. They all had a very good time. So here, let me play this for you, and I'll see you when it's done.
We're at C2E2 with Kevin McGuire, Josh Flanders reporting. Kevin, asking you all the pressing questions that people want to know, like, it's Chicago, deep dish or thin pizza?
Well, I'm a New Yorker at heart, so I got to go with thin crust, but I'll eat any pizza that's put in front of me.
Are you a deep dish pizza guy or a thin pizza guy?
I will eat anything. I just don't eat chicken's feet.
What do you do in your spare time?
I really don't have much spare time, but when I do have spare time, I like to practice 15th century longsword at Forteza Fitness and Martial Arts, and also do Spartan training.
That is very cool and pretty badass.
How did you enjoy OAX this year?
I had a great time. It felt like a show that had actually been around longer than it was. It didn't feel like its first time. Everyone was super nice, and it's always really interesting to be in a show so surrounded by collectors, because they approach art very differently from everyday fans.
Tell us about your experience at OAX. Oh, it was great. I mean, it was, it wasn't like how we have here where, you got a lot of people to deal with and stuff. It was more one-on-one. It was very artist-centric, which was nice, because here it's all about getting books signed and, more of that, where I enjoyed more about just discussing craft with the other artists that were there, and or people that were collectors that, I saw a lot of old pages of mine come up that maybe didn't get signed when they were sold. Who's the artist who has most inspired you? Tell us about that.
Well, Dave Stevens would be my my go-to answer. I just remember seeing that Rocketeer for the first time and just think, wow, this is how you draw comics. This blend of realistic and sort of cartoony hit the spot for me.
First question, Ben, the accent, is it real or is it fake?
Oh, I fucking hate you, don't I? Yeah, it's real.
Yeah. Can you turn it on?
Where am I from again?
Huh? I'm guessing you're
I
from
give people 3 guesses where I'm from. We haven't even talked about this yet.
New Zealand.
Oh, not bad, but no.
Australia.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I like you.
Okay, he likes me again. That's good.
I also don't like raspberries that much either.
Really?
Yeah.
Raspberries? Why is that?
I don't know. The little seeds, I guess.
You need some comfort food. What are you going to grab when you're home? What's your favorite comfort food?
I like popcorn like almost every night. Yeah.
Just plain?
No. I mean, certain foods as a former chef, are just a vehicle for salt and butter. And popcorn is that vehicle for salt and butter.
Second question.
Do not edit a thing of this. This is going to be the worst interview of your life.
All right, that's fine. We're going to try this. Tell me about why horror comics. Do you have a dark secret that drives horror art?
No.
No.
What is your favorite pizza topping?
If you had one superpower, what would it be?
I always say telepathy, telekinesis. I like the Phoenix-style powers or Professor X-style powers. I don't want to be low grade with that, and I also don't want to be driven insane because I can hear everybody's thoughts. So I want to be powerful enough that I could block everybody's thoughts out. Like telekinesis, I like the idea of the, and then something happens.
Yeah. What was the artist that influenced you the most to become an artist?
Charles Schultz and Hank Ketchum.
Why?
I followed their comic strips, and there was just something about them when I was a kid that I really liked. Dennis the Menace. I tried to draw him. I had more trouble drawing him. I felt like I could draw the Phoenix characters because I thought they were just round heads, but they're not really just balls. They got a little subtlety in the shape to them, which I found out later.
If you were to pick like an artist who's been an influence or inspired you, maybe when you were a kid, who would that be?
Well, probably the most influential will be Baron's story. I've said that a million times, so that's probably not the most interesting answer, but Baron is just on another planet. The not so known answer is Transformers the movie. I used to watch that in slow motion when I was a little kid, and that's how I learned how to draw. So if you look at any of the mechanical artwork I have in all my artwork, it's all based on Transformers the movie.
What artist did you ink that you think had the most impact on you being able to pencil?
Of course, Mike Zeck, because I worked with him even before I got into business. Mike was kind of, behind the scenes, mentoring me and giving me tips and stuff like that. So definitely Mike Zeck.
Can you tell me what type of mediums you work in?
Yeah, absolutely. So my favorite medium, which is just ink, I work with a dip pen. I love to make pieces in ink. I love being able to render out as much detail and rhythm as I can in my work. I do color, but I think that's a second love for me. For me, it's all about just black on white. I love that.
You can have dinner with 3 artists from any time in history, living or dead. Who would they be? 1.
Stan Lee. And Jack Kirby, and I just want to hash it out with them. I just want to work it out. Let's go. Let's be friends, guys. No, Jack, tell me what your problems were with Stan, and Stan, work it out with him. Work it out.
You're
with
really
him.
like a therapist. You're an art therapist.
You were a former Chicago resident.
For a period of time, yeah.
For a period of time.
I want to move back.
White Sox or Cubs?
I don't do the sports ball except for the best game in the world, Australian rules football.
Is that rugby? Or it's
Australian rules football.
Sorry, I don't know what that is.
Rugby, stereotypes, man. Australia does not. A couple of states like rugby, the rest of the country, we play Australian rules football. It's our national game. No one else plays it. It's the 4th biggest football code in the world after NFL.
Do you put shrimp on the Barbie after the soccer game?
We don't put shrimp on the Barbie.
No?
Because we don't have shrimp.
What do you have?
Prawns. Prawns.
Prawns. You put prawns on the Barbie?
So, do you know what a tiger prawn is? Banana prawn? They're called prawns.
Yeah. What's the craziest thing that you've ever done?
G-rated?
Yes.
All right.
There might be children watching this.
Yeah. All right. Well, craziest thing I've done recently was I ziplined into Godzilla's mouth.
No.
Wow. Yes, it's true.
You got any video of that?
I do. I bought a GoPro and strapped it to my chest because this was a moment I was going to want to relive over and over again. And considering how long it took me to get there, because it was in Japan, and it was over in like 15 seconds, if that much, I'm glad I did.
Was it everything you expected it to be?
The breath was mintier than I expected, but otherwise, yeah, pretty much.
I would have thought gamey.
You would think that, but
Yeah.
you know, I guess he's a certs guy.
You can have dinner with 3 superheroes from history. Who would they be?
3 superheroes from history.
Yeah, anyone.
Well, they definitely need to be the Max. I mean, I don't even know what kind of dinner that would be like.
Messy.
Spider-Man. I mean, that's pretty basic, but like Spider-Man's my favorite hero of all time.
Yes.
And probably Cannonball, one of the New Mutants. Because of Bill Sienkiewicz, I'm like a biggest New Mutants fan. So I've actually told somebody this yesterday. I told him like, I just want to do one Marvel cover in my life, and I just want to do New Mutants. That's it, and I don't have to do another cover again.
Jack deserved more. Jack and Steve. Yeah, let's put Steve Ditko in there. So that's the 3.
What artist has influenced you or inspired you to become an artist?
Oh, okay. So this is a real question.
A real question.
Ashley Wood.
Yeah.
Dave McKean and several. But
Tell me, Dave McKean, right? Arkham Asylum.
do you know who Ashley Wood is?
I don't. Tell me.
Zombie apocalypse happens.
Absolutely.
Choose your weapon.
Oh gosh. Well, you know, I'm going to be honest with you. It's going to be a blanket. And the reason is because I'm not going to survive that.
I mean,
I
fair,
want to
fair.
stay warm and hide.
Yeah.
But I guess if I absolutely had to defend myself, maybe an axe.
Okay,
maybe
cool.
because there's something on both sides.
Yeah.
Presumably someone's coming from the back. I can do some kind of Uma Thurman style moves. I don't,
He worked for Marvel for a bit. He's done some X-Men. He's done.
Yeah.
So Ash is he's very unique style. He broke into the American market. His first American real comic was Ghost Rider 2099.
Okay.
So I saw that this guy from my middle of nowhere place in Perth, Australia, which is one of the most isolated capital cities in the world. So he is the reason I'm in comics now, because if he could do it, I could do it.
So,
He gave me hope.
Tell me about Dave McKean.
Dave McKean's just an artistic genius. Have you heard of Dave McKean?
I have, yeah.
Thank God.
Could I get one punch right here?
Give him a punch.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. We got sound effects. You got Batman pow and punch and kick effects. What more can you ask for? But thank you to Tom, who did not know who Ashley Wood was, for putting that together along with Josh and Sherry. And it was fun getting to see some familiar faces there, Mr. Wayshak and Sonia, of course, who were all at OAX, along with Mr. Ben Templesmith, who doesn't do shrimp. He only does prawn. So yes, thank you very much, Tom. Everybody give Tom a big round of applause for editing that for us. We appreciate it. We always like having a little bit of levity in our evenings here from shows like that. Good time. Looks like everybody had a good time. I actually talked with Anthony after the show. He said he had a good show. I mean, like he said the other night, he was the only art dealer there, I guess, if that's true. So I guess that's probably why he had a good show. He had a monopoly on the floor. But all right. So moving right along, we can get right into, it's not the CAF update, but we can look at some Heritage stuff and the EXP preview. But I'm going to do that with my good friend, Chris Snark. Hey, Chris. Man, with that gray shirt on, everything looks so cold at your house right now. Look at that.
It is kind of cold here, actually. It's like 58 tonight.
Man, I'm sorry, man. It's like 88 here tonight. Yeah, the AC.
I'd rather have 58.
I still haven't gotten to have one of your beers yet. I hate to tell you that, man. I mean,
That's a crime.
I haven't felt good enough yet to drink a beer. I'm close though. I think tonight maybe I'm ready. When the show's over, I'll do it.
Have one on Sunday and cheers my birthday.
Oh, really? It's Sunday? Oh my goodness! All right, very good. Well, congratulations. That's awesome, man. I know
beginning the last year of my 40s.
It's kind of tough, but we're all there.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? But well, I imagine you got to be going out, right? There's got to be. You're going to go to your favorite
all weekend long. Yep.
Whole weekend, not just Sunday.
Yeah.
Saturday
No,
too.
I'm ripping the lid off this weekend. Yep.
Oh man, I wish I was up there. That would
I do too. We'd have a blast.
We would.
I'm starting tomorrow, and I think I'm going to have a beer basically as soon as I get up.
All right. Hey, that's one way to start the day. But Nick Rucci says there's 80 people watching and only 44 likes. What the heck's up with that?
What the?
Yeah, come on, people, hit that thumbs up. So, so you're exhibiting a little bit at the Comic Art Live event next weekend.
I am, yeah. I'm putting a few things up. There's something I really want to get my hands on that's coming up on Heritage at the end of the month. So I'm gonna try and make some sacrifices. I'm not thrilled about it, but I'm telling myself it's for the greater good.
Yeah, there's just too many good stuff, auctions that are out there anymore. Even I'm starting to see stuff, but I don't have anything I want to sell.
I don't either. That's my whole problem. If I didn't want to keep it, I wouldn't have bought it in the first place.
Yeah, there was a guy on the show last night who said he was looking for like Archie Sonic pages, and I almost was tempted because those are my sons. I bought them. I got 2 portfolios full of them. He was asking Anthony if he had any, and I was thinking I can make some money off those because I got those. I bought for like that's like everybody's dream. I bought them for $5, and they're probably worth like $120 a piece. So there you go. The appreciation in that is massive. But,
arbitrage.
Yes, Marcus agrees with you on for the greater good. Yeah, well, hopefully that works out. It's your first time exhibiting though. You've never.
I have in the past, but it was like, I don't know, half-hearted. I have a couple like bigger things this year that I'm even more reticent to let go of. But yeah,
well, keep the piece that you're looking forward to yourself, and we'll talk about it afterwards if you get it. That'll be a fun story.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be good to hear like the pain that went into having to earn the money to which reminds me, there's actually there's this really interesting story out there that I kind of forgot about when I got sick. I got to remember to go back. Basically, I had an art collector contact me and told me about some stolen artwork, and apparently this guy had bought a bunch of it and gave it back to the artist. And they were like, when the person who approached me was the collector saying, would you like to talk to the artist about this to help get the word out? And I'm like, I said, I do, but I really want to talk to you. What was that like? The idea that, you found out you were in possession of all this stolen art and you gave it back to him. And I'm like, I want to get your perspective on that, because that's like the thing all collectors dread, that, right? The moment like something like that could happen. I mean, and I don't know how I would handle it. I mean, I'm sure I after wrestling with it, I'd be like, the right thing to do is to give it back, and but boy, I just can't imagine being put in that situation. And the guy was like, oh, that wasn't what I was thinking you were going to. He's like, well, let me think about it, but he did.
Oh, maybe he'll get a nice commission out of it or something, right?
Right, exactly. I mean, the artists are well known, and he put me in touch with the artists too. I just totally dropped the ball on that. I really forgot about it until just that moment. Marcus says Neil Adams did that before. Well, yeah, I mean, he definitely put pressure on people. He always knew. Like I remember, wasn't it Kirby? He only signed the pieces initially that he got back that he put out there. So there was always that. And the issue, same thing with Neil. He wouldn't sign anything that he didn't sell himself. Yeah. It's tough. But anyway, so I don't know the details on the theft, but so I'll have to get that. And I told the artist I would have him on for on a CAF update or something. So maybe in the next few weeks after I get the full scoop, I can do that.
Yeah.
Jason's asking you for your Winter Soldier. I assume he means the DeMeo.
Nope. Neither of those. I haven't even really had a chance to appreciate those yet. They're just I've only had those a few months.
Come on, Jason. You gotta give a guy some time, man.
I'm not a flipper, Jason.
Oh man. I'm getting the itch. Like I told you, I haven't bought any artwork in a while. So I've been looking.
I bought a Hemback. I had to tide myself over. So there was a Hembeck Punisher on eBay this week, and I bought that. I was like, okay, that'll soothe the itch a little bit.
Well, I need to do something soon because it's been like, I've gotten gifts, right? But I haven't gotten where I went out and bought it. I was like, I gotta get this for myself. So sorry, I'm just reading through the chat. Chuck says, there were some balls. Yeah, the greater good. That's gonna be your motto from now on.
Well, what'll happen is I'll sell these pieces and then I'll get blown out of the water on the auction, and then I'll be like, damn it. I'll be punching holes in these walls.
Yeah, Heritage does not let you sit back and wait to to cover your expenses. Nope. You gotta raise the money first.
Yep.
Well, Bill Rivard over on Facebook, because nobody else can see this comment, said ought to be the only flipper on CAF.
Yeah.
Bill, we're all over here on YouTube, hanging out, having a good time. You can you're a Central Florida guy. You can go over to YouTube and hang out. You'll see everybody chatting over there. Marcus says he'll sell you it back for a week with interest.
I bet he would. I bet he would.
Oh, brother. And Chuck Arnold mentioned the Bollins that were stolen. Yeah, I do. I recall that story as well. I think every artist probably has one or two stories like that where they didn't get
dealer
the art.
for sure.
It's so true. That is so true. Hydra's in the chat. I saw Hydra suggest that we should bring Jill Thompson to OAX. Yeah, you never know. I think I don't know if she's on our list of 300. But yeah, we've been talking with some cool guests in the last week, trying to line some stuff up, potentials. So yeah, I think it was weird. Koipel. Did we?
I said it in the chat. I'm saying it out loud.
Quan's kind of an elusive guy. He doesn't. He's hard to get to answer any questions I send him.
Well, Quan, if you're watching, I will guarantee you at least one massive pre-show commission if Olivier comes to OAX.
There you go. See, Tim's giving you advice too. You can consign items to pay for your winnings.
I already sold all my comics to buy art, Tim.
Yeah, that doesn't work out. Yeah. All right. Well, anyways, hey, let's get on with this thing, right? We got heritage picks to look at. Let's see here. Let me get my screen shared here. I should have been ready for this one. I wasn't. I was too busy watching that video for the first time.
I see the Madman lunchbox. It made it.
Yes.
Nice.
I got the Madman lunchbox right there, along with my Gilligan and Skipper dolls that I'm going to keep. I heard they're more valuable if you never break them out of the pack, so I'm going to leave them,
pristine.
Yes, so that in 50 years they'll be worth a lot of money. That's what I've heard. Let's see. Colin says, what did Colin say? Someone left their art on the roof of their car at a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle event in New Hampshire last weekend and drove off. That's pretty awful if that's true, Colin.
Oh,
do we put a news article in Comic Art Fans for that, Colin? I don't remember seeing that. Anyway, let's see. Tim Guerrero says he lost his all red lunchbox at OAX. That's awful, man. Well, that's unfortunate. And I think we announced. Did we ever do that? I think on the day we announced that we were doing the ticket sales, we announced the all reds, and then the next day, Mike and Laura let us know that they were not going to be able to make it now. Although they committed and they backed out, so Mike and Laura will not be back at year 2. I think we didn't mention them in the announcement that we sent out the next day, because it was literally like the next morning. Simon let us know that they were like, "Oh, we hate to do this, because they had already committed, but of course we will try to get them back for year 3." Mike and Laura, I mean, nobody worked harder at promoting our show for year 1 than Mike. He was literally on like a dozen live streams talking about OAX,
and he was everywhere at the show.
He was.
It was awesome.
Really was. I know. And so they were like obvious. We went back to them first. We were like, we really want, we want you back. Just let us know. And they were in, and now they're out. So, yep, we'll go for year 3. But anyways, here, heritage picks. Where are we at with this stuff? So, it was funny, that we thought like the Dennis Kitchen thing might only be that one and done kind of thing, but the stuff's just going to keep trickling out apparently. I'd asked Dennis to do like a series of interviews too, and then he stopped replying to me. But he just replied to me yesterday saying he's ready. He wants to do more. But anyway, so this is a what is this? A Kim Deitch piece that I don't know. I always liked Kim's work. I always thought he was a fun illustrator, and I just like this piece. I mean, it probably won't go too high, but it's already at 260. So anyways, so it has the pedigree of being in Dennis Kitchen's collection. But I love it. It's got it's the kid who reads the comics during the day has nightmares all night, right? I don't know. I mean, there's something that I like this thing. This should be a T-shirt. So
it looks like I mean, great line quality. It's really like distinct. Like everything is really what should I say? Separate and like I mean. It is very like T-shirt worthy for sure. It's a really readable, easy to see image.
Exactly. And I think there's at least one other piece in there by Kim. And if everybody remembers that Dennis Kitchen had the artists do like their own self-portraits. I think the self-portrait that Kim did of himself is also in there. So yeah. So, but the cool thing is we're going to keep getting some stuff from Dennis's collection. So we're always going to be seeing unique pieces in the weekly auctions too. I don't know how long that's going to last, but yeah, that one's a good one. Then a Bruce Timm color piece, Polaris. I mean, this is very, very nice. And I wonder why I think load's kind of slow these days. But at any rate, there it is. I mean, look at that. I love that.
Yeah. I've seen this before. It's gorgeous.
And and this is from 2000 even. So an older piece, very, very nice. Marcus has probably seen this one in person, I bet. But I like that. And then what do we got? An Alan Davis. This is a Dr. Doom. I'm sorry, you can see the thing is he's out. Yeah. And he's basically wearing Mr. Fantastic like partially like a skirt there.
He is wearing a skirt, so it's
he is too. Yeah, that is true.
Doom does wear a skirt, everybody.
Boy, I know. I never thought about that until now. Now I can't unsee that.
Somebody's going to yell in the chat. It's a tunic.
But again, Alan Davis. Come on, we see a fair number of pencil commissions out there. This is a nice inked piece, Doom looking badass, and the Fantastic Four at his feet.
What an awesome pose.
Indeed. Yeah, wow. This is really nice. And I just want to make sure the top of his this little thing there wasn't cut off, and it's not. All right, then what else we got? It's a kilt, says Josh. Then one of Josh's favorite artists, Matt Wagner. This is Shadow versus Grendel from issue 1. It's page 25. I mean, come on. Wagner, great storytelling. I mean, every one of these panels is beautiful.
Oh, man, Hunter's ripping it up there. That's great.
Yeah, look, that panel right there is really, really wonderful. I mean, great pose. Composition is perfect. And I love the slicing and dicing going on in these, bottom 4 panels there. I mean, look at that. Blades through the chest.
Yeah, the silhouette stuff in the first 3 panels, and then the last panel is lit by gunfire. That's nice.
Yeah. Yeah, no, this is it is brutal, Tom. But sometimes you gotta do it that way. So, anyways, very, very nice piece. Only Dr. Pauls knows what's underneath. Well, we'll find out more when we talk to Jason in a few weeks. This one, Irv Novick, Murphy Anderson, and this was a flash page. There's just the composition. I love the blacks in this piece. I love that like Pluto's palace, hand drawn whatever there above this room that he's going into. I mean, it looks like he's going into a 70s drug den. This is Studio 54.
Right.
But just something about it. I mean, the art is just, I really like this page. I mean, and it doesn't, this could be anything. It's the Flash. I mean,
yeah. Barry Allen is too pure for Pluto's palace. I'll tell you that much.
Go Canary Cage. Yes. But this, man, looking at it now, I wouldn't mind owning this page. And
that profile shot of Flash is excellent.
Indeed. Yeah. Murphy Anderson inks on this thing really make it. But the girl up there and the go-go girl, she looks, I don't know. Yeah, this is great. Even Peter Rose says he likes this one. All right. Well, then I think we'll have to see where this ends next week. Then I'm hard pressed to not pick an Alex Toth, especially when it's signed by Alex. So this is Jafar from Aladdin. But this thing's awesome. I mean, it looks like marker on this piece.
Yeah.
But you know what? I don't care. It's
if it looks like that after this long, though.
Yeah, exactly.
It's pretty color fast. Yeah.
So this one's a good one. $66. It probably isn't going to go north of $1,200. So I mean, heck, it's small. It's done on kind of an animation paper. Well, is it? Or at least it's got lines for animation paper. It looks like it came out of
the little tabs at the bottom too, like it was in a book.
Yeah, but it's got like spiral bound stuff, so like it was torn out or something. Anyway, either way, I like it.
Oh, I think that's the what do they call them? Registration marks. So when you put it on the table, that it sits the same way.
Yes, Peter Rowe's giving me even Peter Rowe likes it. Well, come on, Peter, you're more of a war art collector. I mean, when I think of your stuff, but yes, you're right. Registration marks. I don't know, but it's funny. I mean, I look at that, and you can't say that like Mobius wasn't a little influenced by Toth. Everybody was influenced by Toth, right?
Whether they want to admit it or not,
right?
Like him or hate him. Exactly.
Well, this is a nice piece. I like that one a lot. And I think there's actually another Toth in there too. So if you dig around in the 300 or so pieces that are in this one. So then this one, it's funny. I set this one off to the side because I don't even know what the heck's going on in this thing. I don't know who the characters are.
Well, it's Vigilante. I'm in.
It's Vigilante. It's Sikowski, Giordano from Adventure Comics 426, right? But I mean, the layout's really cool. Everything. I just like this. It's a title page.
This is awesome.
Isn't this thing freaking amazing? I mean, who's this guy? A gunslinger guy? I mean,
that's Vigilante.
That's Vigilante. See, I don't know DC.
Yes.
Well, then see, this thing is crazy good. I love.
Go look at my gallery after this, Bill. I have a Mark Chiarello commission of Vigilante. You'll see who he is.
All right, I'm gonna check it out. See, I'm learning tonight, everybody. But this is a great page, isn't it? I mean, so Sikowski, Giordano, and a wonderful title page. Nick Barucci says the original Vigilante. Rick Welch says the original Vigilante. Everybody's saying it. So, all right, I get it. I have a lot to learn about DC, everybody.
That's a nice Sikowski, man.
It is.
What's that at right now? This is like this is derailing my thought process.
I know. I mean, trust me. I had set it aside because I was like, I don't know anything about this character or anything. I didn't want to pick it, but the piece of art's too good. It's at $46 right now, everybody.
Love it.
I think everybody in the chat should throw a bid on this one. And signed by both.
No one in the chat should bid on this.
Okay, nobody did. All right, I got 3 more to go here. This next one's another Dennis Kitchen piece. A Charles Burns, weird, ugly looking, goitered, whatever this thing is.
I have some thoughts on what it is.
I saw it and I was just laughing my ass off at this. It's a Charles Burns, everybody. How often do you get the opportunity to buy something by Charles Burns that's not going to break the bank, right? Because Charles stuff is always ridiculously expensive. This thing is one of the weirdest things I've seen on Heritage, and it's coming out of the Dennis Kitchen collection. And what is it? If your name is Scarlett, it's for Scarlett. So if you know somebody named Scarlett, and and her birthday is coming up, or
I have a niece Scarlett, and I am not buying.
No, you can't give that to her. Oh man. This is what Snork is saving for. No, I don't think so, Marcus.
Negative.
I don't think so. Anthony Snyder. Well, I don't see the cleft chin on him, actually, Jason, but good try. All right, I'm going to move on from this one.
Yep.
So what was my next one here? Okay.
You knew what you were doing when you picked it.
I did. I just wasn't quite sure how far that was going to go. But
you're being a provocateur.
I am. But again, Charles Burns, you're never going to get a cheaper Charles Burns than that one right there. So then Mike Deodato Jr. This is, I don't know what Witches 1 was, but this is all Doctor Strange on this page. And this thing is, you got to see the overall composition because it's Look at that.
Great.
Just the way, you've got, his cape kind of shaping the page a bit. Then that whole first panel, I mean, my God. Diodato was just going nuts on this thing with his layout.
It's
I
really
love it.
splashy too at the bottom. Very nice.
Yeah, this is
also that's so dialed in on the face for Diodato. Wow, it's so like heavily rendered for him.
I agree. This is a great page. Dang it. Was it inked by him? I'm curious. Let me double check this. Yeah, looks like it's all Diodato Jr. So
that's the kind of thing that always makes me wonder, like, is he like a Frank Bruner fan? Is he a Doctor Strange fan? Like when you see an artist that they're like just pouring over something and really putting everything into it, you wonder if it's like a little personal.
Right. Yeah, that's true. And CJ said the same thing, channeling some Bruner there. Yeah. I like this one. This is a good one. Last but not least, just a fun piece. I picked this Jack Davis. I don't think I pick enough Jack Davis art, but seems like every Heritage Weekly auction, every other one at least has a Jack Davis piece in it.
He was prolific.
Al Jaffe piece. There's a couple Al Jaffes in this one. So just great stuff. I mean, again, Jack Davis, Golf Illustration. I'm sure we have a few golfing fans out in the audience. He's not putting, so it's not something I'd want. But again, look at that. So awesome. Then you get the ink wash. I mean, I don't care if it's black and white or in color from Davis, but they're always beautiful. This is great.
Absolutely.
Yep. All right. Well, there you go. Those are my 10 picks from Heritage. Again, there was a lot of good stuff in there. There's more Dennis Kitchen stuff. There was definitely more Mad art. So there's always like 3 or 4 great Sergio pieces in there that I skip over because I've picked enough Sergio stuff in the past. So, what are you gonna do, right? When you gotta like avoid it sometimes.
Well, that Stokowski was the sleeper bill. That was a beauty.
It was. I'm glad you agreed with me on that one. I almost didn't make it. I kept leaving it to the side. I'm like, there's no characters on here. I mean, it's like, what I don't know. Well, I didn't know.
I know.
All right. Well, next up, we got the EXP preview. It's short and sweet this time. Nick, in a minute and a half, he succinctly went over everything or almost everything that he's going to offer on his show tomorrow. I think he's bringing more art than he's showing, though. I'm pretty confident in that. He said he was going to have an under-hour show. That should never happen. I don't believe it. But tomorrow, 7:00 on the EXP, Nick Barucci. And, it's the happiest hour of the week, I think, for comic card collectors. Nick keeps it light, fun, and he's apparently an inventor of many things in the comics business. But I don't know if he'll talk about that here in this preview, but here we go.
Everybody, this Friday, May 3rd, 7:00 Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, Original Art Experience. It's been a bit of a crazy week again, so what we're going to do this Friday is have the art that didn't make it last Friday, plus we're going to help Ken sell a few pieces that we still have. There might be some more art, but I'm not 100% sure. We'll see what happens. It's also going to be hopefully a shorter show on Friday, and we're not going to talk about anything that Nick or anybody else invented this Friday, so we're going to keep it to basic art. So we are going to have the Marvel Team Up 142 page with Black Costume Spider-Man, 4th appearance of the Black Costume, X-Man number 46 cover by J.H. Williams, the Leo Fernandez X-Factor 142, a Darkwing Duck cover. We're also going to have 4 Gargoyles covers. We're going to have the Battlestar Galactica complete issue. I can't even remember if we fully showed it or not. 3 pieces of commissioned cover art. We did Joe Del Beato. We did Court because since we have lots of Ken Hazer, we're not bringing Ken Hazer commissioned cover art. And that's everything. So this Friday, May 3rd, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. Look forward to seeing you there. Hit that thumbs up and share. Sharing is caring. See you then.
There you go. A short and sweet show for Nick tomorrow, but I'm sure it'll be a lot of fun. I'll be tuning in. I hope if you're free on Friday night, you will do the same.
He says he forgot to show the Simonson art and the Star Wars art. That's why
that's
it's so
right.
short.
You know, that's that is true. I'm sorry I didn't mention that. I was actually reading something else, but Nick did mention that I was supposed to say something else. So there we have it.
We said it.
We have. Thank you, Chris, for paying attention. So, all right. What do we got next? We got the CAF update. We'll breeze through that. It was a fairly actually, auction houses had a decent week, but they had a lot of different. There was like a heritage. They had like 2 or 3 different things going on. Although the illustration heritage auction was finally happened, and it was a rather successful one, over $3 million there. But we'll talk about the dealers first. Dealers had another average week, 234,000 this week compared to 238 last week, and so that at least they're consistent. Anthony had the most sales, 112,000, so he had almost half of it. Albert had 47. Glenn had 41. Felix had 12. I think that number is going to be a little bit higher after the sale tomorrow that Felix
next week. Yeah,
with Tradmore.
Just a little higher.
Yes, I think everybody is eagerly awaiting the Tradmore noon drop tomorrow. I hope I'll have to try to give Felix's site a little extra horsepower tomorrow to see to make sure it doesn't time out, because that usually is what happens on Felix's site when people smash the new page, over and over and over again as the 12 o'clock hour hits.
Been there.
Yeah. It's there's not a whole lot I can do about it unless I ever can get him to allow me to create like a login kind of concept where we can spread out his sessions a little bit wider. But yeah, tomorrow's going to be brutal. But one way or another, the art will all sell, I'm sure, and we'll have a huge Felix week. So Felix, he was 4th last week with 12.5, and then Will was 5th with just under $10,000. So the top 6 sales from art dealers last week. Let's see what they were. I think there was kind of an odd mixed bag here. This is from first piece, Anthony. This is a Neil Adams piece, obviously. It's a Star Trek Peter Pan Records album art piece. It's an odd shape for an album art, but maybe it was like an inserted book or something like that. Beautiful Neil Adams piece, though. Next up, what do we got? A Warlock page sold by Glenn. Jim Starlin art on this one from Warlock 11. $18,000 was the asking price on this one. If you're a Thanos fan, that would
probably in Fish's house.
Yeah, more than likely. Then we have this one. It's labeled Amazing Spider-Man presentation art from the 1970s. John Romita Sr. sold by Glenn as well. $15,000 asking price on that. Then sold by Anthony, a Steve McNiven Predator versus Wolverine #1 variant cover. $8,500 asking price on that one. That's a lot of detail in them.
That's crazy.
Holy mackerel. Salvi Sema, Joe Sinnott, Fantastic Four annual 13 page here. FF versus the Mole Man, of course. And we got this one at $7,800 sold by Anthony.
Look at that.
Yep. And then we have an X-Men annual 14 page. Art Adams art, of course. It's beautiful. Sold by Glenn, $75 on that one. One of these days, that's I'd love to have a good Art Adams X-Men annual page, and and also I don't know. Well, there's a few others I'd probably like to have, but no, the Art Adams would probably be at the top of my list.
See, he's the only reason anybody knows who Ahab is.
That is so true,
because he drew that issue.
Mm-hmm. But so yeah, congrats to Glenn. He got on the list 3 times this week and was number 3. You would have thought Albert with his 47 in sales would have had a lot more in there, but Albert didn't even make the top 6. Just volume for Albert. Okay. All right. Well, we'll talk about auction houses now. Basically, the auction houses, I think if we exclude the signature auction, and there was some Heritage Baby Blues strip art auction too. And of course, Comic Link had their big auction the other week. We just stick with the weekly and eBay. The numbers were right around like 330, and that's down from 449 the week before. Like I mentioned, the signature auction with all the illustration art it was fantastic. You go back and look at Colin's full report on that. I mean, there was a lot of pieces that sold over 6 figures. A couple of Gil Upgren paintings that were beautiful, and they should sell for that much. a piece that we didn't even talk about when we did the illustration preview was the high ticket seller. It was like this. It was a Christmas morning illustration with a girl and a dog, and it sold for $162,000. I mean, it's just you never know what people are gonna get attracted to. But yeah, Berkey, him and his Christmas fetish. But I'll go ahead and show the top 3 eBay sales and then the top 3 Heritage Weekly sales here. So first up, I didn't even know I knew the Invincible pages are sought after, but you get a $3,500 sale on this one from Invincible 33, Ryan Otley. It's page 9. Then we have a George Perez Avengers 25 page is the next one here. All cap on this one. $2,900 was the price on this one. It looks like a page made for Alberta.
Wow. Yeah.
Targeting the guy. And then we have this another Ryan Otley Invincible page. This one's from issue 104, and that one went for $2,500. So I'm starting to think Anthony sold those 2 Invincible pages last night for not enough. But be that as it may, then over to Heritage, we have this Tom Grummett, Doug Hazelwood, Adventures of Superman piece, went for $20,400. Then another Neil Adams piece here. This is from House of Mystery 180. This one went for $12,000. I can't imagine what the paste up on that or the creature was. Maybe they kind of shifted it or something. And then a Larry Elmore. He's been in our lists a lot of late. This is a monster painting. I don't know from what. Went for $7,200. So, congrats, Larry Elmore is making. Well, he's not making the money on those, but he's at least
bringing money.
Yes, exactly. He's seeing his artwork get nice realized prices of late. Because the 2 before that, he had like $40,000 pieces in there.
Yeah.
Jason, you should have got in on Invincible early, man. Sorry.
Those prices seem absolutely wild to me.
I know. Well, I mean, I know
like
they
double or maybe more. I don't know.
Yeah. What is it? The second season is. I don't see how TV shows and films dramatically affect our hobby, but maybe a little bit in that case. But I always knew the early stuff was sought after because it was early in the run. Like the first 12 or 16 issues always seemed to have high prices. But I don't know what that thing was that Anthony sold yesterday, but it wasn't even from Invincible. It was from a different title. Yeah. And it was 2 pages from it. And we had, basically people throwing big offers at it because Anthony was like, I don't know what the price of stuff at. He finally just took it. I think it was $2,000 for the 2 pages. So maybe he should have held out a little bit more and done his research. I don't know. Anyway, we can move along and dive into our picks now.
All right.
We are there. So let's see. See, Jason says he's still undersold them. So okay. Well, live and learn. You never know when Anthony does a one of those. He says, and Chuck says it was from a book called Brit. I'm not familiar with that one. All right. Let's see here. Try to get the screen resized a little bit better than this. All right. So what are we starting off with? We got Mark Torres, and who's the collector? Andre. Very nice.
So I wasn't familiar with Torres, but this made me go look up some other stuff, which I think is always a good sign. The character design on Warlock, Douglock is really the appeal for me. I've said this before, but I like characters that are really open to artistic interpretation and let an artist cut loose.
Mm-hmm.
Warlock is definitely one of those characters, but this is cover worthy in my mind. It's a commission, but this could easily be a New Mutants cover in my mind.
Yeah, without question. I mean, I actually thought it was a cover when I first went to it.
Yeah.
When you said
the composition, I mean, there's stuff happening in the background that kind of leads you to think Sentinels, what's going on there. I just think this is a terrific image, and again, an artist that I wasn't familiar with until I saw it.
That is really nice. Jason says that Andre has a badass collection. I would agree with you. Andre always seems to get some great pieces posted into his calf almost every week. And I thought I saw somebody say that this is one of Jiggy's guys, and that's what he said. He picked it up at a Jiggy art drop. Okay, yeah, Yeah,
I love it.
Is Mark Torres on our list of mystery sketch people?
I'm hoping he is now.
I hope so too. You see, he is. Okay, I'm checking it right now and a new screen. Yes, Mark Torres is on the mystery sketch list, everybody. Well, there you go. Cross your fingers. Yeah, even Aranga says one of his favorites from the week.
Well, Aranga has good taste.
Yes, we all know that. So then Brian Norton, we have this Justice League 205 page versus the Royal Flush Gang.
So the Royal Flush Gang is really why I picked this. Don Heck takes a lot of crap, which I honestly have never really understood. I think he's very capable. I mean, he's drawn some really incredibly important books over the years. I thought his stuff on Justice League was really good. But for me, I've always had a soft spot for the Royal Flush Gang. Like, they're self-aggrandized bank robbers essentially, and they dress in these ridiculous like playing card themed outfits. And this is the issue where they find out that Ace is a robot and like an android. But I remember reading this like in a collection as a kid, and I just have such a soft spot for these characters. This was an absolute had to pick for me.
No, it is very nice. Their costumes are not very inconspicuous, though.
No, that's what I say. It's the concept is ridiculous, but they look so cool that nobody seems to care.
Exactly. But it's a really nice page, and you're right.
They also don't have powers; they have gimmicks. I mean, as far as like, and they're a legit Justice League, foil. So that's what makes it even sillier.
Well, this is a very nice page, and I'm very glad that Mr. Brian Norton has this one in his calf. It is really nice. Who's the inker? Oh, Romeo Tangal was the inker on this one.
You see it too, definitely. That last panel, yeah.
Wow. No, very nice. Don Heck never looked as good with this one. I mean, even that second panel with him blowing up like that. That's great.
I'm tired of people bagging on Don Heck.
Let's see. Lots of people like the Royal Flush Gang, apparently. Next up in the collection of Mr. Felix Liu.
Look at this thing.
I know. This thing was, I couldn't, there's some pieces that pop up there. You just have to go look at them again and again. And I went back to this one a couple of times. I mean, Felix obviously always gets the best of the best stuff. And this is, jaw-droppingly beautiful and so filled with detail. Look at this thing.
I loved what I really got a kick out of the fact that if you read the description, Felix was really excited that he got on Travis's commission list. And I thought, okay, that's pretty cool. We get excited when we get on guys that, are in Felix's stables commission lists, and he gets excited about getting on Travis's commission list. I thought that was a very cool, full circle moment. But, what do you even say about this? I think my favorite, there's always little stuff, right, in all these Travis pieces. Mm-hmm. And I think my favorite, little thing is how the flame effect from the flamethrower doesn't really, fit the tone of the rest of the illustration. It's almost a little bit it's really saturated. It's really bright. The rest of it's muted. She looks damp and windblown like she did at the end of the movie. And that flame effect from the flamethrower and the little smoke wisping off the end of it is almost tonally off, mm-hmm. but it sets off the piece.
Yeah. No, I get it. That, it's an interesting approach. I would have thought I'd see a little light on her, but either way, it totally makes the piece work. Let me go back to this just so we can see the thing full. There we go. That's better. Yeah, I love this thing, man. I mean, I'm an Aliens fan from day one, right? And so is Felix. He's gotten a few pretty awesome.
A lot, yeah.
Yes,
I think he posted this on 426 too.
Yes, that is true.
So,
but yeah, no. I mean, I can't add anything to that. I mean, when Travis is on, he's on, and this is drop dead gorgeous.
I haven't seen one of these commissions that I haven't found absolutely jaw dropping. So the people that got on that list, you are in for a treat.
Definitely. Well, congrats, Felix. Once again, making everybody envious. Then who's calf gallery at? Someone named Superbird, a member since 2007, 17-year member here. And this is a Ian McEwen Silver Surfer Galactus Splash. So is it actually a published piece?
I think it's a commission.
Okay.
But I was going to say, like, it's too bad you can't blow it up.
Yeah.
But the fact that you can't blow it up is almost more interesting. Because when you look at this thing, like, it's really just a series of shapes, like blocks, lines, and, you know, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's so interesting. Like, it doesn't really even need to be Galactus. It's cool that it's Galactus, and I like the, you know, like lightning effect or the energy or whatever. Silver Surfer, itty bitty, you know, teeny weeny, like basically just a line cutting across the bottom. Like that's Surfer, like surfing through the scene, so to speak.
Yeah.
I just think that this is so like visually like arresting, and there's so much clever design stuff happening in here. It's so well executed.
Agreed. Yeah, there's no description right yet now, so we don't know the size of the piece, but I agree with you. It's fantastic. I mean, as far as the layout, I would love to see it in more detail anyway. But dang, I mean, it's got to be pretty impressive in person. I love the fact that it's all just mostly shapes, the shape of the planet. You know, just all these little abstractions that pull it all together. His costume. I mean, we're not too worried about too much detail in this thing. He still fits in the Kirby crackle around it. I mean, no, this would be a piece I'd like to see. Mikhail says, amazing.
I actually wondered if I actually saw this elsewhere first, and I thought, oh, I bet that's Mikhail's. Every time I see a really killer Galactus, I'm like, I wonder if that's Mikhail's.
Same here. I feel the same way. Yes. Yes. And yeah, the white border is a little different, but yeah, it works.
I like it because it lets you it lets the rest of that stuff like break out. The stuff that does go edge to edge, those like chunks of rock.
Right. Yeah, even his figure.
Again, it's just an interesting, like, cool design choice.
Agreed. Next up, this is in who's calf gallery? Mike Y. And we've got like here, so it's Stuart Immonen and Wade Vaughn Grawbadger.
Yeah.
Wow.
When I first found out that Immonen was going to do some of these Star Wars books, he did I think the first, well, not the first. Cassidy was doing some stuff. I don't remember the chronology of it, but I had no idea that he was so good at drawing likenesses. And I mean, of course he is. He can draw anything and everything, but you know, it wasn't something that I guess I knew was in his arsenal, so to speak, as an artist. But look at Han Solo. I mean, it's so dead on likeness wise. And like, that's not the most flattering angle of Princess Leia, you know, Carrie Fisher, but like, I'll be damned if it doesn't look exactly like her.
Yeah.
And this is just like, I don't know, man, like compositionally, you know, it's kind of a standard, I guess, to some extent, like the heads in the background and, you know, whatever, but like, he's just such an incredible illustrator. And like I said, I can't, his likenesses are, I'm hard pressed to think of somebody that does those characters more on model.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with you. Like you just said, I mean, the main thing being there that the angles of of those headshots are not easy
or flattering. Like I said, she looks a little like that probably wouldn't be a flattering angle of Carrie Fisher.
Yeah. Well, it's a beauty. I love the inking on it here too. Wayne did a fantastic job as well.
Those two together, I mean, that's a you know, Kirby Sinnott, Zach Beatty level collaboration.
Agreed. Yeah, this is nice. Excuse me. So Sean McManus here in the collection of Jared, right? Yeah, Jared Mikowski.
This is, I mean, this is almost like out of time in a way to me. Like it looks like it could be, you know, a postcard or, you know, something like that. Like you kind of expect to see like visit Metropolis or something like in those garish letters across it. Part of that is the formatting, obviously, like the way the piece is structured. But I love the red is so vibrant. It's so saturated against the really boring gray, blocky Metropolis in the background. It's super fun. Like, this is such a great idea for a piece. Like, there's all these, burglars kind of like clinging madly onto the car as Superman flies them through the air. Lois is in the really, hackneyed kind of like damsel in distress pose, and the money trailing out the back of the car. I just this is such a fun image.
It is. I love the colors on it too, especially the cold, city background.
Right. Yeah.
Pop all the more.
Yeah.
And I love the idea of it being a postcard. It's like, come to sit, crime takes a back seat. And,
yeah. Right.
when Superman's in town. But it's fantastic. I really like this.
I always really like a kind of almost too thick, beefy looking, Fleischer-y Superman too, and this has got that. So
yeah, definitely. Now Sean McManus, wait, now wait, the second image, DPS, so it's huge. Holy
cow.
What is that, like 30 by 24? I mean, that thing's gigantic. On a watercolor board too, it looks like. Shoot.
So that's a DPS in the front.
Yeah, that's an 11 22 by 17.
So 22, it's got to be probably 30 by 21, 22.
Well, that's even more impressive.
I had no idea it was that big.
I was thinking smaller. Yeah, I was thinking there's no way it's it's got to be like 11 by 14.
God, I really want to see that thing in person now. Whoa. Because that if you get this close to it, there is so much fun stuff going on in their facial expressions and.
Well, some of that makes a lot of sense. I was really amazed by how much the detail in there, because I was thinking the figure's got to be 3 inches tall. But now that it's at least 7 or 8, now it makes sense how he's got so much detail packed in there. Wow, that's amazing.
Gorgeous.
Then Nick Cardy. We don't talk about Nick Cardy too much around here. But this is from Teen Titans 16 in Roger K's Calf Gallery.
I came to as an art fan, as a comic collector, whatever, I came to Nick Cardy very late. I didn't really know anything about Nick Cardy until I was in my probably late 20s, early 30s. And then I just couldn't get enough of him. I was going through all the old Teen Titans material. I was buying old, Silver Age copies of Teen Titans. Honestly, just for the art. I was buying reader copies at comic book sales and stuff for $2 or $3.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a huge Nick Cardy fan, and it's really a treat to me when somebody posts something, especially from Teen Titans. So this is I can't call it nostalgia because I didn't, grow up with the book or anything, but I'm just a big fan.
No, well, it's definitely of the period. And who was was it all Nick Cardy? No,
I think so.
Cardy, yeah. Well, cool. No, it's not bad. Well executed. You look at the Don Heck we looked at earlier, and now look at this, and it's very nice. Sorry, I wish I knew more about DC, man. At least I know the Teen Titans are. I don't.
You know who the Teen Titans are?
Vigilante, that was a little out of my league, but Teen Titans, I know these guys.
Well, you like Grant Morrison, right?
I do.
I'll send you a trade paperback of something he wrote that has Vigilante in it.
All right.
Then you'll like Vigilante too, I think.
All right, that sounds good to me. It's what do we got? Peter Rose said Cardy drove Sherman tanks in the European theater during World War II.
Love it.
And lived to tell about it and make comics. That's awesome. Let's see here. Next up, Avengers Classic 11, page 1. In Tyler T's Calf Gallery by Kano. Wow.
I love the movement on this page. And you get that a lot in Spidey comics and Spidey artists, and some people, do it better than others, but there's I I don't know, there's like a freedom to this. Like that stuff in the, you know, in the top left is very like light and kind of gestural. But then he, you know, it should be, right, because it's supposed to be portraying like him, you know, doing his like kind of Spidey thing as he moves through. So it's probably in color. It's probably like a, you know, ghosted like light color to show that he's like moving towards the camera. But when he gets to the camera, that's a great pose. Like that's an incredible rendering of Spidey there, like basically bending over backwards. And then when you go down, my favorite thing on this page is that trip.
Right here. It's right there.
Look at how klutzy he looks.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
His foot is kicked out. His arms are crossed. You can tell he's about to eat shit. I think that is so like fun and like appropriate and like really well illustrated.
Yeah, Red Bullet Comics says great energy. Very true.
He hurt his little ankle.
He did. He's rubbing his ankle.
Poor Spidey.
Yeah, Electro can't get him, but you know, he can trip over his own 2 feet. And,
that's almost the hilarious commentary on Spider-Man villains, right?
It is.
He really has to undo himself in order for them to get over on him.
But I love it. I mean, yeah, no, this is a really, really nice page. Tyler's always got an eye for nice, you know, standout pages like this. Yeah, this one's fantastic. Yeah. And Araga says, he's doing the
lane. I know, yeah.
So true. But well, congrats, Tyler T, man. You always, you know, if you don't follow Tyler's calf gallery, you should. I don't even know if I do now.
You're missing out on seeing a lot of artists you've probably never heard of that are really good.
Look at this. I'm not following his calf gallery. I'm going to fix it right. I fixed it right there. So now I won't miss another update from Tyler. I can tell you on the app, when you log into the app, we send you to your dashboard, and you can just scroll through your watch new art added to watch galleries. You know how you have that. Now that's how we start you off in the
that's
app.
Handy.
I completely agree.
That's the first stuff I comment on. If I have time to leave comments, it's on the people that are posting stuff that I follow their gallery. That's kind of how it works.
Well, we dump you into that, and it is because you figure a lot of people you follow are, well, they're either you love their stuff or they're selling, right? Or they're sellers that you follow, and it's just amazing, you know, because we're outlining the art that's for sale with a red outline, and so it's just so easy to just like scroll through everybody that you really want to keep tabs on, and yeah. So
you just kind of, you know what, Bill, you like definitely unintentionally just like opened up a whole new world of calf for me. I don't follow anybody that sells stuff.
I do.
My God. What have I been doing? What have I not been doing?
You might have to wade through a few things here or there, but no, it's early on I followed people because I liked the art they had for sale. And also people whose galleries I wanted to follow. But you figure, just think about it this way. If you follow them because you like the art that they have in their calf gallery, you're probably going to like the art that they have for sale. And so now it's just so easy. Because I don't even think in the current version, when you're side scrolling through that list, if we highlight that the art's for sale or not. But on the app, we are. So yeah, it's
Cool.
it's a game changer. And it's only going to be a 1.0 version, but it's going to make everybody happy. Just like this page made me happy. I have to tell you, I didn't see this one, and
this is cool.
It is. There's so much to like in this one. It's Buscema Palmer from Avengers 260. I like this page a lot, but I really love that first panel. Just the action in it, and even everything about it's good. I even love the commentary in it all the way down at the end. No, the Avengers promised to show mercy to anyone who surrendered. And Thanos is like, I'm not an Avenger. He's choking the life out of somebody right there.
Yep.
So
to me, it was so wild that you've got Thanos, Star Fox, and Hercules are all shooting pistols on this page. And I was like, what could possibly be happening that these guys are armed?
So true.
Why do they need guns?
Mm-hmm.
I love it though. I absolutely love it. And you've also got like a kind of an older school Thanos here.
Yeah. Yeah, I did think that, because you always expect him to be much larger than that. And you're right, it does kind of have a the way they originally drew him. But this, I like this. But it's Besema Palmer. I mean, that's why I guess what we should expect out of it. But yeah, this is a great page, and I didn't even notice him choking the life out of the guy right there. I skipped over to here where he's got him. Anyway, this is
like if anything, you got to give Black Knight and Cap some guns. Those other guys, they don't need to go armed.
No, they're just doing defense here or something. At least
it's
Cap
funny.
is. Anyway, so this was in Justin Porter's Cap Gallery. Longtime member of the site. Look at that. Joined in the first year Cap, December 2003. 21-year member.
I've done a couple deals with Justin over the years. He's a good guy.
Yeah, Justin picked up a piece of art last night in the show too. So great pickup here, Justin. I like this page a lot.
Me too.
And I like the Zipatone in it too.
Yeah.
Then this one is phenomenal. Mr. Chris Stevens. I mean, everything he does is crazy good. And I think, I was gonna say, I thought I saw this as an OAX pickup, right? Look at that.
Yep.
Sweet. That is awesome. So let's go back and look at the art here. Wow.
Never met Chris before, but was really, really happy to get to meet him at OAX. Super sweet guy, like toiling away, talking to people, doing phenomenal commissions, like, at his table, essentially. This is obviously a great example, but we spend so much time gawking at and talking about his color stuff that I thought it was worth highlighting something that was just pen and ink, because, look at the stuff he's capable of when he's not even using the markers and the paint and, all that kind of stuff. I mean, this is gorgeous. It's like, I love the exaggeration on, Batman's physique. People do tend to go a little like wild when they're illustrating like the Dark Knight version, which I love. That like chunky Batman is so cool to me. Carrie is like, literally lighter here. He like depicts her in a more well lit. She like appears smaller, more delicate, like all the things that we know she is. Which in the actual book, that's one thing, seeing Miller illustrator, but then seeing somebody who really, like, in a lot of ways, stylistically is the antithesis of that. Like, there's absolutely nothing stripped down about this, right? Like, this is all over the top. It's detail everywhere. Every inch of it is like covered in, something essentially. And just, to show how somebody else does it, but still makes her look very characterful and, cute and small and all that kind of stuff is really cool to me.
Yeah. And I mean, we all love Chris's color work too, but I see this and it makes me feel like, if I ever got something by him, maybe black and white might be the approach I'd take. Like if I had him do a Thor or something, I mean, or I would say Cyclops, I'd probably have him do like a Colossus or something. But either way.
Cyclops isn't in color. What is he even doing?
Right, exactly. But, you could do Colossus or a Storm or something like that.
Colossus would be insane.
I mean, he but I could see just stick to black and white and see what he does with it, because it just shows you how great a draftsman he is. I mean, you get overwhelmed by his use of color so often, but boy, to see something like this, I mean, I think if I ever did get anything from him, I'd ask him to do it in black and white.
Yeah.
It's great.
I mean, you said Colossus, I think especially Colossus, like all the opportunities for like noodling and drawing reflections and all that kind of stuff that plays so well in black and white anyway.
Wow, this is great.
Yeah.
So I'll get the like on there. Congrats to Joe on that one, and an OAX pickup for sure.
Beauty. I bet Felix hated to see that one go.
Yeah. Yeah, but he had to have a good time. I mean, from the sound of it, I don't think Felix has done a lot of shows with Chris before. And Jason should be happy. He just managed to get a ping for everybody to hear on my phone. I should have turned that off. Thanks, Jason. Let me stop that screen and swing over to my picks here. I went with some easy ones, and they were probably too easy, but I did them anyway.
There's softballs every week. Sometimes you just got to crank them.
Yeah, and this one was actually picked by Colin too, but I mean, so much so that I still had to pick it because it's one of my all-time favorite Daredevil covers. So here we go. Let me size my screen a little better here. There we go. So let me get the like on here. And it was Bill J's Cap Gallery. So Quesada, Palmiotti, come on. Look at this thing. I mean, I just you look at, I don't even care that Daredevil's on there at the end of the day. I mean, there's so much great stuff happening in this piece. And every time you see it, you just have to fall in love with it. There's no way this can't be like, look at the number of bricks, tiny bricks. You get weird shingles, and then you get
all that.
And then you get the super moody, super dark Daredevil. And I mean, this cover made you want to. You had to buy this book.
Yeah,
it's just
unbelievable. And this image, man, this image made the rounds. It was a poster, it was a T-shirt, it was I mean, you name it. And there's a good reason, because this is like absolutely in the iconic list of Daredevil images. This is in there.
It is, and there are bricks galore. But again, just unbelievable piece. And I don't know how Bill J does it. He always gets these pieces that everybody loves to comment on. At least he seems to get like 5 to 10 of them every year, and they always get like 80 to 100 comments. But they're all deserving of it, right? I mean, it's just crazy. So yeah,
it's only ever A-list, A-level pieces.
And Chuck says these books saved Marvel Comics. That's true. When they gave Palmiotti and Quesada the freedom to kind of do whatever the heck they wanted, and then bringing in Kevin Smith. I mean, you had you had a lot of good buzz around it, no matter what. And wow. So congrats to Bill. We always, I saw this one and I was like, you know what? How can I not pick this one today? So I did it. Then a couple other ones that I had to pick.
Oh yeah,
I want to get my like on that one. And was Aranga. Yes, I had to make sure, because I look at the art typically more than I look at who the collectors are. So Aranga, he just gets these awesome pieces all the time, and continues to. I mean, Liam Sharp, Robin Riggs. This is just it's a little bit of a different transformation kind of sequence than we're used to.
I like it. Yeah,
I like it too. I mean, I because it's so graphic. The heavy outline on the character in the first couple stages, and then going away from that in the last two, it just works really well. I mean, this was, to me, it was like I had to pick this one because I thought it was just a unique transformation. And I love that second phase where it's just all bubbles and
energy
and energy, right? I mean, all through there. But this is a good one, man. I mean, I always like Liam's stuff, and this is really nice. And Robin Riggs is somebody who we don't talk about too often, but really solid inker as well. So
yeah,
Ranga, wonderful pickup, man.
I love it. Yeah,
we're so used to you like getting the the obscure artist to do you a commission of Cable or something like that, and then but every time you get a published piece, it's equally amazing. So
you know what though, I have a lot of respect for the fact that Aranga is very true to his fandom. Right? If he gets something like this, it is because like it's this character, it's this book, it's whatever. He doesn't have, his squirrels are all like oh, I saw this cool artist, or I met him at this show and I thought he'd do a cool Ghost Rider. Like that's great, but then he reserves like these big moments for something that is really important to him. I think that's a great way to collect.
Yeah, agreed. So yeah, congrats, Aranga, man. You did it. You got another beauty.
Yep.
Then this one was an easy one to pick. Again, you get anytime a nice Brian Bolland piece. I don't know. I have to pick it. Yeah. This one, I don't know. There's just not enough of his work out there, and his Wonder Woman covers were always so well liked. And this might not be like on anybody's top 10, but it's still gorgeous. Despite the bondage and the gun and all that stuff, but. I don't even know whose Cap Gallery is. Who got this one? Oh, John Bamber. Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. I'd love to, John's somebody I'd love to interview one day. He would be, I've met him a few times at San Diego, maybe New York once, but he'd be an interesting guy to chat with because, he's collected for a while. He always seemed to get like the big home run pieces, as I recall. And he was out of collecting for a little while too, but damn. I love this one. All cover week for me. Not quite, but I did pick a few. Bolland and Bondage. Okay. The B&B.
It is Wonder Woman. I mean,
right. I mean, come on.
If you're going to have a character tied up on the front of a comic book, it's probably Wonder Woman.
It probably is.
Yeah.
So yes. All right. What do I got next here? Because I don't even remember my picks. Oh, this was John Moore, and I like John's stuff a lot. I really think, and I've said
I didn't see this.
I've said this a lot about John's work because I just feel like it's evolved a lot in the last year, and I think we've seen just a few different kind of like leaps from him, and this feels like another one. I love the all the detail in this thing. I love the line work. I love the pale silhouette, in front of the figure.
The cutout and the strike through are like, that's very cool. I'm really like fascinated by the wavy, like TV static stuff that's going on in the underside of the hat brim.
Sure. Yeah.
Wow.
Let's see in better detail here. But yeah, I'm just taken by his stuff. He really, it's really impressive. Where he's just, to me, he's just grown a lot in the last couple of years. So this is great. I really like this piece. So yeah, let's see what his specs is.
Is he on the mystery sketch list?
He better be. Let me see. I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure John is. Let's see. John Moore. So there you go.
You'll get
a chance to get a piece by John. But yeah, that's fantastic.
Love it.
He's treating the hat like it's a mountain or something. He's got the birds flying around it. It's just a cool.
That's true. Yeah.
Very cool image. Yeah. All right. So congrats to Carl. Oh, Carl. See, like I say, I didn't even pay it this week. I don't even think I paid attention other than the first one to know who got it. So Carl, great piece here. Next up, Tim Sale. So, and this one's highlighted by Cullen too. I didn't even realize that. But it's like, I almost don't even care that Batman's in this thing. I just think this is such a beautiful illustration. I just, like just looking at the rungs on this, wall ladder, right, going up there. This graphically, this image is just, it's so beautiful. It even 2 panels, but they kind of just tie together with the way the lighting's handled here and waving through there. And I kind of see Batman as an afterthought. And then when I see Batman, I'm like, damn, that is a crazy looking Batman.
Great image of Batman, yeah. It's almost a shame that this was colored.
Right, exactly. I'm looking at this now, and I want to own this page, and I'm not a Batman fan at all, but this thing is, I know it's got a guy hanging in there. He's lost his life, but still, everything about this page is just beautiful.
I think that all the time. Like, I'm not a Batman fan, but there are so many absolutely amazing artists and images, in and around, around Batman, that like, it almost sucks not to be a Batman fan.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It does. Isn't that funny? I never thought of it like that. But it's true. I've only read a few Batman stories. I hate to say it, like a dozen. And I've just never been interested in Batman, but boy, oh boy,
this is a beauty.
Yep. And let's see, Sonu Kumar, 6 year.
Awesome description by the looks of things. Wow.
Yes, I'm gonna have to read that one. I did not even check.
This guy's putting Khalil to shame.
Yes. Well, it looks like he found it browsing calf. So that's awesome. Brian Bailey, you're not a Batman fan? What's wrong?
I know, man. You can't like them all.
I
don't dislike Batman. I'm just not into Batman.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Then Albert was posting like a ton of stuff this week.
I know.
And it was like, I'm like, what Albert piece am I going to pick? Because I have to pick something from Albert.
I almost did too.
And I was compelled. He had that Bernie Wrightson piece.
Mm-hmm.
He had like 3 or 4 really great pieces. But I kind of kept coming back to American Flag #1, and just because it's American Flag #1,
yeah.
It's awesome that Albert owns this, and it's not like okay. As far as a cover design, it's perfect. Howard always talks about like Dave Johnson is his favorite cover illustrator. This is a well balanced. It's perfectly executed cover for an indie book that no one knows anything about. And you throw this image out there. I mean, it was powerful. It even the way it was colored, I remember, just made it like stand out on the stand. So
well, Shaken's a great designer. I mean, no question.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at it now. It's just it's phenomenal. It was funny, you saw my I did reply to you, right? I don't remember if you replied back to me about that. Shaken.
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
okay,
thank you.
But Howard's he's just such a matter of fact kind of guy. I'm sure if I asked him a question about this, he'd be like, "Yeah, that's me. Yeah, that's what I was thinking about at that time." Right. Or whatever. But at any rate, I love this, and I love that Albert every 2 years or so drops a bunch of great art on CAF.
That's awesome.
So
I agree. We're all the better for him doing it.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Yeah, I agree with Chuck said it's a culturally significant cover, definitely. The Michael Lovitz, Brent Anderson, Bob Wyacek, Uncanny X-Men 160. I always liked Brent Anderson, his art, and I liked his very short run, or the few times he got to draw the X-Men, right? But I thought this was just a really fun page as far as just like drawing out the action and the battle here. And I was even reading through the comments, which I don't always do, but I thought this was funny because everybody was like, Wolverine always gets beaten up by the larger characters, and he is kind of not really winning this fight, even though it looks like he's doing a lot of damage. I just like the layout of it. It's just so action packed, and I love Colossus coming in there at the end and kind of kicking him low and catching Wolverine at the same time. It's like when you think about early X-Men books, the camaraderie between Colossus and Wolverine, whether it was a fastball special or whatever, there was always something fun there. And so when I saw this one, not only did I like the action, I just like that. I like that last panel where Colossus kind of helps him out and gets this thing done. God loves man kills. That's true. That's probably my favorite of it. But I thought this was a nice page.
If you give yourself any X-Men battle page from this era, you're getting a good looking piece of art.
Yeah.
Anderson, irregardless.
That's true. Rick Wells says Anderson draws a great Wolverine. I agree. So Mr. Lovitz, congrats on that one. So we'll see. I got 3 more to go. Humberto Ramos on this one. It was, what is this? A Spectacular Spider-Man #2 page, but it's got Daredevil all over it. And, Ramos has such a unique way of drawing the figure anyway, and especially in his facial expressions. I mean, mouth is too big, all that kind of stuff, but it all just works. I mean, he's just got, I just love his characterizations. I mean, look at, this guy's too skinny and Daredevil's almost too big, but I mean, all throughout this, it's just really well executed. I mean, I'm not, I love this first panel. I
think characterization is a great way to put it. I mean, he exaggerates for the sake of, it's part of his style, obviously, or whatever, but it adds flavor, it adds excitement, it does all those things. It's like definitely a stylistic choice on his part. But like what I always try to tell myself is when somebody's like highly stylized, when they're able to do this kind of stuff, it normally means that they're very good at drawing anatomy, because in order to distort it, you have to be good at the basics.
Right. Yeah, no, so true. So I don't feel like I've picked too many Ramos pages in the past, but yeah, this one just stood out. I just like the composition, the action. The crazy angle in that second to last panel. It's like, I mean, I know he had to fill it in to get it like that, but it looks great because, I mean, Daredevil's basically vertical practically in this, yet he's not. He's horizontal and knocked out, whatever. So yeah, this is a nice page, really, really nice page. And on Paul P's CAF Gallery. All right, so I got 2 more to go here. This was in Mark V's CAF Gallery, and this is like, I don't even know what this is from. It's like something.
I don't either.
What is this? He says Border Worlds retailer poster and house ad from 1986, and it feels like something out of 1986. Like it could have been box art for a TSR game. Yeah, right. See, there you go. I mean, the lettering, everything on this thing, and it's right from Dennis Kitchen. It's Kitchen Sink Comics, whatever the hell that this is. Don Simpson, right? Yeah. I don't know. I mean, so to me, it's nostalgic and for something that's, I know nothing about, but I love the art.
The period.
Yeah, I mean the silhouette of the characters. This is how we looked at interesting games in the mid '80s or late '80s and decided to take a chance on like you said, an RPG or some kind of a tabletop game and this thing, and it even feels like it could have been drawn in the '70s because it's the way it's laid out, right? This could be a '70s movie poster.
Yeah. The funny thing is like if this was a box for a video game, you'd be like, "Oh my god, this looks amazing," and you'd get it home, and then it would be 8-bit graphics. Like, okay, it's the box really oversold.
Yep. Carl's Collection says I'd rent this video game. Yes, and it probably would suck, but still, no, whatever. I think it's awesome. I don't know anything about it, but if Mark V picked it out, I mean, he always kind of gets eclectic stuff. I like this piece a lot.
It's cool. Yeah, no question.
And then last piece is the one that I picked from the show graphic. This Dave Dorman Red Skull painting. I mean, I just thought the whole use of the red octopus was a cool idea for this. I love it looks like he did a lot of probably texture work. Maybe when he gessoed the canvas a bit, I'm thinking. I mean, that could be all in the paint, but a lot of times, an artist kind of goes, yeah, exactly. But I mean, or they could actually be texturing a bit when they gesso the board, kind of knowing what they're going to be doing in there. So they give it a kind of a feel and a flavor before they get going. I mean, and I would have to think the guy like Dave, who's painted a lot of paintings, probably has that in his repertoire, right?
Oh,
of going
definitely.
in and playing around with that. But yeah, but this one's I really like the lighting on this one a lot. Kind of like I love how this kind of fades to white with the fire, the flame, or whatever that is behind him. I just thought it was a really slick painting in it, and I love the it's Hydra, right? So it's just like. There's just a lot of cool thought put into this piece, and I don't know what was it a commission? Oh, it's a Marvel Platinum, must be a card.
Yeah.
Yep. So really well done. I mean, the Red Skull's kind of gruesome looking in there too. I mean, just the way we like him.
Yeah, it's a gnarly looking Red Skull for sure. I think that's probably the most alluring thing about this to me is he really like got into that. I don't know, it's almost gory.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. No, I was taken by this image when I saw it. So yeah, this is fantastic. And again, who did we say is the owner of this one? Oh, Superman's mullet. Okay. Superman's mullet. Whoever you are, you've got good taste. I've wound up in your calf gallery a few times. That's for sure.
That's Chuck Arnold's alternate account.
Yeah. Well, and Dorman's not somebody we pick too often, so that's good.
No.
We brought him into there. What is this? Jerry Bourne wants to know, can I buy a couple's ticket for OAX to bring a friend? I don't really want to get intimate with him, but $150 can go for it. My wife has the instructions of asking you to tongue wrestle if you try to pass yourself off as a couple.
So I had to do it last year.
I just wouldn't do it. You might get
embarrassing. You'll get over it.
But Superman's mullet. Congrats on this wonderful painting. Card art. Yeah. Something I think we'll probably start seeing a lot more of on CAF. I mean, given the fact that we're doing more stuff with the card art folks and everything, they're going to have a little bit of a bigger presence at OAX. They might we're probably going to bring in a few more artists that have done card art in the past.
That was one of my favorite galleries at the show last year or this year.
Well, they will definitely. They'll definitely have another gallery and a little bit more space too. And we're trying to work out. I mean, they're giving suggestions to us on a few artists, and we already have kind of a few that we're thinking about. So fingers crossed there that all works out. But again, I think it's just cool because I think we'll start seeing more interesting art in a different vein than than the narrative artwork. I think that's great. I mean. It's still the characters we love, just more.
It's like a little cover.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. Just like commission style, right? I mean, and I think it's cool. I mean, if we can get those guys interested in a little bit in OA too, I think we'll all be the better for it one way or another.
Yeah.
I think. Carl's collection says Superman's mullet was at OAX. Well, what was their name? Because I'm sure I met him, but I don't recall who Superman's mullet was. There was a suggestion somebody had about like putting a little identifying your calf gallery on your badge, which of course we didn't do. But one guy actually put a QR code on it.
I was going to say that'd be a great idea. QR code for your calf,
right on your badge, and so you could just scan it. I mean, just imagine if we actually had the time, then where you could do that, and it would just like load up the app right for you, and you could just see their calf gallery. Now that would be
next
cool.
Level.
Yeah, I'll have to talk to the app developer about that. But that's a great idea, though. If you gave people the option or the liberty to print something out, put it on their badge, and I like that idea.
I do too.
Because then just think about it. You do that, and then you immediately click a follow link, and now you're following somebody that you just met.
Oh man, yeah. Then it becomes like a networking thing, even more so.
All right, we're gonna have to work. Yeah. All right.
Also, you automatically know like this person has good taste or they don't.
Yeah. Well, then you don't click the follow button.
Yeah.
But you tell them it's a nice collection.
Yep.
Yeah, I like that. What did Nick Force say? AR app that shows everyone's calf gallery above them, like it says. Yeah, that would be.
So everybody's looking at you and going like this.
Exactly. Yes. That one day, maybe Nick. There might be something like that. You never know. Well, we've had some fun conversations and interesting things kind of popping up, since Kezra's been having a lot of. He's been chatting with some very interesting people, even in the tech world. That there's definitely cool things that we can get involved with and do.
Well, that idea is a winner. I think that's one to.
I like that idea a lot too. Really, I mean, the idea of you can immediately pull it up and then follow somebody. That way.
Or if you're from the commerce side, if you're talking about making a trade or like whatever, you're like, I don't have it with me. This is what it looks like. Here's a nice scan.
Yep.
Yeah,
this is giving me a lot of ideas. This is good. I'm telling you, this working on the app is really going to push CAF in a lot of cool directions because it's going to influence the redesign and a lot of the thought, that we're putting into the app is going to influence. Gosh, I think just a lot of features that the website's going to end up having too. So, cool. No, this is awesome. Yeah. Well, Chris, as always, so much fun getting to hang out with you. You had 10 great picks. I think I did okay on my picks, even though there were a lot of.
They were great. Yeah.
So, So let's see. So you're on next week, right?
Yep.
All right.
I may still be hungover. We'll see.
That's right. I'm going to say this is after Cinco de Mayo. Man,
it is. Yeah, well after.
Do you think that? I mean, does that influence your beer drinking? You think that made you because you were born on Cinco de Mayo? No. Not at all.
Cinco de Mayo like feels like it was a thing maybe in like the last 20 years here.
Well,
Am I crazy?
No, you're probably not, because I didn't think too much about it until I was probably in my 30s. So that's true. So it did influence you in your beer drinking. You were
being from Wisconsin is what ruined me, Bill.
That's so true. You got a brew pub on every corner.
Can't swing a dead cat here without hitting a beer.
Well, I hope you have a great birthday on Sunday.
Thanks, man.
Chris. And now that I know, we'll have to try to work something out sometime, with virtual drinks or I don't know what. But
hit me up. I'm around.
All right. You got it, man. Have a good night,
guys.
Oh man! All right. Well, listen, everybody. We did it in less than 3 hours. I always appreciate being, earlier than midnight if we can do it. So, lots of good stuff talked about today, and good ideas all around. I'm sure Casper was taking a few notes there as well. But I think, the more we talk about how we can make this hobby more fun and more easy to get around, and create friendships, I think is a good thing for the hobby. And so that's always the goal that we have here in approaching things with the encouraging meetups and doing all the fun things we do. So I saw several mystery sketch orders come in while we were talking tonight. Like I say, look for them. A few emails coming out over the next 9 days or so. I'm sure I'll do 2 or 3. Promoting that, reminding people about Comic Art Live. Like I said, there's only 1,200 pieces of art posted. I know there's going to be 6,200 pieces of art posted by the time we hit Sunday. So a lot to look forward to. So make sure you clear the weekend of the 11th and 12th. Try to set Friday night free as well. We don't usually stream on Friday nights, but on the 10th, of course, at 9 p.m., we'll have a lot of the people who were working on mystery sketches. We'll be drawing those sketches live for everyone. It's a fun weekend. It's our 9th. I'm really looking forward to getting that one behind me, because then the 10th one, we have a lot of thoughts and interesting things for the fall, but we're going to get through the spring show first. So hope you can join us. And again, thanks so much for hanging out with me tonight. Again, light schedule, right? I've got the weekend off, no art sales. You won't see me until next Tuesday. So enjoy your weekend. Chris Snorik, have a beer for Chris Snorik on Sunday if you're a drinker. But I will definitely have a beer by that time myself. So have a wonderful night, everybody, and we'll see you again soon. I'll see you Tuesday.